Championship Series Season 3. We are live from the Wiltern in Los Angeles. And by the end of today, we will have a world champion. We started with 10 teams this weekend on day one, and now we are down to 6 in a double elimination bracket. Welcome back. My name's Axel Toss, joined by Gibbs, James Spot, Yummy Brisk Man. Yummy Cheese Man over there. Finishing the show yesterday, chugging that brisk. Well done. But what an exciting weekend it has been, and it all leads to today. If you're new to the scene, welcome. You're in for an amazing show. If you're here at the Wiltern, thank you so much. I saw you guys lining up early in the morning. You guys are awesome. Such a phenomenal crowd here, live in Los Angeles.
Best crowd we've ever had, Axel Toss.
What a day we have in store for us, guys. I can't even put it into words. I almost just want to let the crowd do the talking for us. But guys, talk to me about your excitement for this day. 4 teams from Europe still alive, 2 teams from North America.
It just feels like a fight night. With this crowd, they're behind North America, and they're still cheering on Europe, per se. They love flipside tactics, obviously, but we got 4 Europe teams left, only 2 North America teams, so you know this crowd's going to be behind them 1,000%.
Yeah, even when Oceania was playing yesterday, the crowd going crazy for Alpha Sydney. That was awesome to see, and the team that took out both OCE teams still in it today, the leftovers, along with the rest of the teams from EU.
And now we find out if the NA crowd is enough to get NA through and win the World Championship.
I love it. I have no doubts these guys are going to keep it up all day long, as North America considered the underdogs today, but NRG looking great, Rogue looking pretty good as well. Anything can happen. Before we get into the matches, oh my God, I'll let him do it. It's great. Get yourself to a live event, ladies and gentlemen. There is no better feeling than this, live from the Wiltern. All right, guys, before we get into discussion of the World Championships and before the show, I suppose, officially begins, we have something very special that Psyonix has been waiting to unravel. And we're going to have Joey standing by on the stage to tell us more about it. Joey, take it away.
All right, guys, help me in welcoming the Vice President of Psyonix, Jeremy, to the stage. Goodness, they're hyped. Well, as I understand, you have some really cool stuff to share with us. So let's get to that. What do you got for us, man?
Well, first, before I get to that, thank you everybody for coming out. Really appreciate it. We've had a great weekend. The gameplay's been awesome. We've broken our own record for concurrent viewers and people watching this show. Worldwide, over 1 million people have watched already. Yeah. We couldn't do it without any of you. You guys are the best. You're the people that put us here. We're not going to forget that, and we really appreciate everything that you have done for us to show the world what Rocket League is all about. So thank you. And speaking of what Rocket League's about, it is our 2nd anniversary next month. And to celebrate, we brought something with us, and here it is. Thanks.
There you have it. Thank you, Psyonix, for that presentation. I feel like we just keep getting more reasons to be hype, and I wouldn't have it any other way. What'd you guys think of that announcement
Best
there?
devs ever. The custom goal explosions, engine sounds, new songs. I cannot wait for this update.
But I gotta say, I feel bad for Findable Carpet because he will never see those custom goal explosions. He just will never see that.
7.
All right. Wow. Again, thank you, Psyonix, for that reveal. Again, look out for that July 5th. But I like it. All the signs are great. You guys are great in the crowd. I'm just going to keep giving you guys compliments. You're awesome. But let's refocus in on the World Championships. Again, this is day 3, the first ever 3-day event for the World Championships. Day 1 was amazing. Day 2 was arguably even better. And we have a little recap video that we put together for you. So if you're just now tuning in, check this out as we recap day 2. Welcome back, guys. It's day 2 of the World Championships. We're seeing the highest level of Rocket League we have ever seen.
It is game over. Mocket Esports have persevered.
This is the season where NRG just gets rid of that curse and they take down a European team.
Air. Jacob over the top, back into the box. Garrett's there. He puts it through. Tie game. To push it out of the play of Remco. It's all up to him, but Jacob will fake him out again. It'll touch an NRG. Sweeping Northern Gaming. They'll move on to the upper bracket.
For the first time in LAN history for NRG, they finally take down a European team. Tries to intercept that one to keep the momentum towards the net. A pitch goes in favor of Mocket coming out from Mocket Esports, and the finish is there. Mocket Esports will move on in the bracket.
NRG versus Flipside Tactics, a clash of the Titans. Flipside has knocked out NRG every season. Flops in the midfield, Byron has an open shot. Go for the neck and Greasy gets there. No, it's 2-0 NRG. The big one high. Guarantee will follow through. He'll let it touch. NRG has beaten Flipside.
After 2 seasons in a row, being knocked out.
NRG has finally gotten that monkey off of their backs.
Selfless versus Denial.
Well, he'll have to get that in zone and Corrupted G off the crossbar. Selfless is going to go home.
Selfless, your first team falling from the tournament.
Everyone underestimated the leftovers. Push this towards the middle, and there's Farah yet again. These backboard plays. Will stay alive.
Huge shout out to Jam Gaming for making it here.
We do have Northern Gaming and Denial in an elimination match here in game 2. Devo in the air to try and drop it through. But doesn't go. It's Barbosa. What a read.
The moment this touches, that will be it. Denial Esports. They are done here. They have been eliminated.
This last match of the day, we're going to have Alpha Sydney versus the Leftovers.
Out of the way to make sure he can grab some boosts and set up his team as Farah puts on a shot.
puts on another one. He's got players to aim for. Tosses, misses the ball. Alpha Sydney eliminates it.
That's going to do it for us here, day 2 of the World Championships, but tomorrow is the day we've all been waiting for. There's no stopping the cheese man. There's the cheese man. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. So many awesome moments from day 2. I can't even pick a favorite. I mean, it might be the end. Was it the end there for you?
It was the end. It was the end.
The true finale, yeah. It's what we deserve. It's what the crowd deserves.
Absolutely awesome stuff, Cheese Man. But let's get caught up on the bracket here. Again, double elimination, best of 5 throughout until the upper finals, best of 7. That's gonna be a little bit later. Here's a look at that upper bracket. Phenomenal matches across the board. My personal favorite might have been Flipside Tactics versus Selfless there. At the bottom came down to a 0-second goal by Cooksier, and then Cooksier pulling it in overtime to bring Flipside to NRG. But that's where NRG rose up and made it to the upper finals.
And of course, we have the #1 seed from Europe versus the #1 seed from North America. They both made it all the way through their brackets, and that match is going to be amazing. 3 series from now, so that should be a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. These are the regional champions as well. They took down every other team in their region to get here today to get that #1 spot.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that lower bracket. These are the elimination matches. You get 2 chances in this tournament. Selfless, the first team to fall, and then Jam Gaming, the representative from OCE, falling as well. The leftovers taking out those OCE teams.
A lot of important matches here, and leftovers, as you said, the OCE Slayers, taking them down and earning their spot up against Flipside Tactics. But on the other side of the bracket, both Selfless and Denial falling to make way for Northern Gaming up against the crowd favorite Rogue.
That will be our first match of the day, and we are moments away from that best of 5, Rogue versus Northern Gaming, followed by Flipside versus the Leftovers. But these teams all playing for one thing, and that's the title of World Champion for Season 3 of the RLCS. There's a lot of prize money as well. Let's take a look at the prize breakdown, $150,000 in prizing.
And we have the top 6 left to be decided. We have $8,000 for 5th and 6th, and then it starts ramping up real quick all the way to first place with $55,000.
Yeah, you see a $14,000 jump just from 3rd to 2nd, and then $25,000 from 2nd to 1st.
Yeah, we are going to see that winners final between NRG and Mocha later, and that's the difference between potentially 16, 30, and even the chance to play for that 55.
Guys, I am super eager to get these matches started. Again, we started with 10 teams. We are down to 6. The next 2 matches you're going to see on stream, 2 best of 5s elimination matches. It's going to be the final chance for these teams to stay alive in this tournament. The first match we're going to be starting with is Rogue versus Northern Gaming. This is a matchup a lot of people looking forward to, North America versus Europe, storylines behind both of these teams. We're going to start the conversation with Rogue, and we had a chance to sit down with Sizz. So let's take a look at what Sizz had to say. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your #2 seed from North America. It's Rogue!
Hello, my name is Sizz, or Emiliano Sizz Benny. I am from San Diego. I'm 20 years old. My biggest strength as a player is probably just my rotational play. I'm pretty decent with mechanics, but overall, I really fit my role in the team as a role player, kind of just trying to support Matt, support Turtle, be there whenever they mess up, or if I need to fill a quick rotation, that's where I succeed. I'm really supportive as a player, and on top of that, I can really hype them up and get them in their mood where they can play really well. In general, for everything, I'm just really competitive. When I was younger, I played soccer. When I was older, I played volleyball and basketball. I've always been really into different sports and just being able to compete at the highest level. My competitive history with Rocket League started off mainly with me and Matt. Us two have really been that power duo since the beginning. We teamed up originally with A-Money. We didn't really do too well. We got 1-4 against every team. And then, we kind of upgraded, went up to master tier. It was really nice getting an upgrade like that, because you give us a decent teammate, we actually can make a land. It's a big difference, 7th place to 1st place, or 2nd place. In Season 2, I became a sub for Orbit rather than deciding to compete. I was really busy with school at the time. I had no time to really put into Rocket League, have efficient hours to actually be good at the game. So I took a 4 or 5 month break from the game completely. Taking a break from Rocket League definitely has its downsides and upsides. You lose a lot of hours and you lose a lot of that muscle memory that used to actually make you a good player and But the upsides would probably be like more time just to do like other things in life, just like going to the gym or just hanging out with your family, just some other stuff like that. My family is definitely really supportive of this whole thing. It was really weird trying to explain to them first that like I'm a professional gamer. They were like, "Are you okay?" Like questioning me, trying to make sure I was actually talking about like an esport, not like soccer or something. They eventually kind of caught on. They saw like I was actually, going around like the world. Like I went to Amsterdam, I went to LA now, I went to San Francisco. My most memorable moment probably for Rocket League was when we actually qualified for the LAN. I remember we were all sitting in TeamSpeak, all of us were just sitting there watching it. We watched G2 lose against Genesis and it exploded. I've never seen a louder environment in my life. All of the entire TeamSpeak was just blowing up our headsets, screaming out of our minds because we were so excited to actually like finally make LAN. So as of late, I've been really growing a lot with YouTube and Twitch and Twitter especially. Like everything's been growing really nice for me. It's been just like exponential growth. A lot of that is definitely due to like some really close friends like Rizzo, Fireburner, all of them kind of helped me like push myself to want to grow. I didn't really care too much about social media. Like, I didn't even have a Twitter like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Now I'm just like, I love it. Like I love seeing the whole community as everyone as a whole. To all my fans out there, I kind of just want to say thank you all for the amazing support and everything you guys have done. Without you guys, I probably would not be here. I wouldn't be able to like actually have this much exposure and all this. And, to top it off, I just want to say I had a really good slapping of Fireburner earlier. And I just want you all to know that was a great slap. And I want to end it off with saying, all day, baby!
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from North America, give it up for Rogue!
There you go.
And here we see the newcomers coming in versus the dynasty of Northern Gaming. These guys are having fun, and they are ready to play.
Yeah, making an entrance, coming in style. And we know that they can play with style as well, but now they're back to the wall. They're facing elimination. They're going to have to step up against Northern Gaming.
And they've been playing so well, taking it to all the teams, and after falling to Mocket, they now need to prove themselves against another EU powerhouse in Northern Gaming.
I love the attitude and the confidence that we're seeing from them with that walkthrough on the stage. It's very important in a LAN environment, having that confidence, being nice and relaxed and having fun at the end of the day. But let's go player by player here through this Rogue roster, starting with Matt.
Matt, he was the runner-up for MVP. He was second in scoring, and he had a 10-goal series this weekend at the LAN.
Caesar's been huge at this LAN. He's stepped up immensely from league play and the playoffs, and he is looking the strongest man on the roster.
And Turtle, the veteran, my boy, he is playing extremely well, and that's all he wanted from this, and anything extra. They made it to day 3. That is all they wanted. Now they're playing with house money.
Honestly, coming into this weekend, I'm not sure how many people were looking for them to make a deep run. A lot of questions, North America versus Europe, but Rogue having a lot of answers to those questions. Coming into this tournament, taking out the leftovers 3-1 before falling to Mocket to get to this point. But let's shift the conversation here, because the team on the other side, you got to be considering them as well. It's the dynasty from Europe. It's Northern Gaming. We had the chance to sit down with Turbo from Northern Gaming. Let's take a look. Your number 4 seed from the European region. Give it up for Northern Gaming!
My name is Pierre Silver. My game tag is Turbo Polsa. I'm from Sweden. The scene in Sweden is quite big, but we don't really have any good players. Why I decided to be a sub was because I couldn't find players that fit me well, like mesh with me, so I just became a sub. When I don't play Rocket League, I used to play floorball at high level as well. I prefer playing Rocket League instead of other games because it's fast-paced. On the field, I feel like I bring a lot to the defense, and off the field, I feel like I bring a lot of positive vibes. My favorite thing about this community is that everyone is so helpful. If you need help with anything, they are always there for you. To win this tournament, I can prove people wrong, like show people that I'm still competitive at a very high level. I can do this for a long time. I would like to thank my fans for always being there for me, and my family for never complaining about me staying up too long. Expect us to make good plays and never let any goals go in our goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from the European region, give it up for Northern Gaming!
Remco eyeing down Rogue. He is ready to play.
Yeah, he already talked trash this weekend though to a North American team, NRG, and we saw NRG take them down commandingly.
Northern Gaming have a lot to prove, and even just losing this match knocks them out of the tournament, and perhaps a little bit of a surprise coming in, but they have been playing well in scrims.
Such a fast-paced team. They're so much fun to watch. You never know which player is going to rise up and make an epic goal. But let's go player by player here through this roster. Again, weapons from every single angle here for this Northern Gaming team, starting with Devo.
Yeah, Devo, he has been quiet this weekend, but we know that he has the ability to be the difference maker.
The big man coming in, Remco. He is solid, he's all over the pitch, and he will be leading from behind.
And move over Maestro. Turbo Pulsa doesn't seem like a sub here. He is carrying this squad so far. What a performance from him when he had no experience this entire season.
Yeah, he really stepped up big for Northern Gaming in the series versus Denial. He himself scored as many goals as Denial did in the entire series. Coming as a sub, making an impact. That is what he was meant to do.
Lots of confidence throughout this tournament from this Northern Gaming team. Again, they're one of those dynasties in Europe. They started this tournament taking down Jam Gaming, then they fell to NRG, and that was a sweep. But then they beat Denial to get to this point against Rogue. So Northern Gaming, again, a top team from Europe, but they came into this tournament the number 4 seed. But we have some more stats to take a look at, comparing a couple players from these two teams. We got Matt and Turbo.
And Turbo Pulsar scoring 7 of the 10 goals in their last series. And no one expected him to carry this hard, but he has brought Northern Gaming through the lower bracket so far, but they want at least 3rd once again.
Yeah, he really has impressed me as a sub. But Matt, he has proven earlier in this weekend that he can be a superstar player, and if he can have that kind of performance against Northern Gaming, Rogue really has a great chance to move on.
This is, without a doubt, one of the most important days for all of these players that you're going to see on the stage. They have been building through the entire season of Season 3 to this moment. You gotta imagine what's going through their mind. Are they feeling any pressure whatsoever? We're about to get into predictions here as we're about to get into this first match, but I want to remind all you viewers watching at home, use the hashtag RLCSWCS3 on Twitter. Let us know what you think, who you think is gonna take it. Also, I want to see who's gonna make the most noise in the Twitch chat here as far as who you are supporting from home, Northern Gaming or Rogue. And now, I'm gonna ask the panel here, starting with Gibbs, best of 5. Who's moving on and who's going to be eliminated?
So yesterday I was leaning towards Rogue, but then last night I actually had a dream where Matt and Turtle died. I'm not sure why that happened, but it was actually a really emotional dream. It felt really long.
Well,
I was actually
was I in your dream?
upset.
Was I in your dream?
No, like someone else died, but who cares about them? Right. But Matt and Turtle died, so maybe that's an omen. So I'm gonna go Northern Gaming just because of a dream.
Well,
but I think it'll be a really close series.
Well, thank goodness that in Rocket League there are respawns. Okay?
True.
They're coming back. I have Rogue for this one, but you've been right every time this time. But Rogue, they're on their home turf. They're going to take down Northern Gaming and move ahead in the tournament.
Both teams didn't have a super impressive day yesterday, but one of them obviously has the home side advantage. I'm going with Rogue. There is no turtle soup today, Gibbs.
All day, baby.
All right. Hey, can I borrow that? Can I see that? Thanks. I'm going Rogue. All right, let's get things started, ladies and gentlemen. Your first match of day 3. This is the World Championships for the Rocket League Championship Series Season 3. It's time to get into the first match of the day. Who's going to move on and who is going home? We're going to find out in just a second. Take it away, Leaf and Lawler.
As we know, when it comes down to this final day, predictions can mean almost absolutely nothing. It's up to the players at this point. They have all fought so hard to get to day number 3, and it all comes down to the line here. Both these teams fighting to stay alive in this bracket. One of them's going home.
Yeah, the big difference, though, Northern Gaming has had one more game advantage between these two, but it doesn't seem to matter for this home field crowd. Everybody behind, all smiles on both teams, but Rogue getting that extra love.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough. Rogue came in day number 1, blazing confidence and just absolute speed on the field. They lost it in day number 2 and expect them to pull that out now in game number 3, or day number 3.
Game one of the day here at the Will Turn. Here we go.
Rogue versus Northern Gaming. Someone's going home in this best of 5. Rogue got the crowd behind them right now. We'll see if they can start off with an early attack and get the momentum in their favor as they try off the crossbar. An early goal, maybe the bounce shot, just saved out there by Turbo Pulse. He's been the carry for this team, and he's looking to do the exact same thing today on day number 3.
Rogue realizing what they did so well day number 1, this fast-paced aggression. They are not wasting any time as they try to dribble this down. Turbo getting past Remco, but he gets up and pushes that back down. Sizz gonna feather his boost, lets Turtle take it as they push that down the wall. Devo with an attempt.
Both teams making a couple early attacks here, but no early goals for either one of them. As we see some weird touches from Turbo as he gets one off Devo. Turtle trying to catch that one on the far side. Might have been a chance, probably be saved out though. We had a couple defenders for Northern Gaming waiting for that shot. Now they go an angle. What an angle from Turtle. If they keep plays like that, they're gonna look to see that first goal for their team.
Rogue doing a fantastic job keeping this team at bay. A lot of the problems they were having the day before is they were looking timid as they were kept on that back heel. As another shot trying to come in from Rogue.
Look at them. Rogue is looking for each other on the field right now. They're connecting as well, but they're having trouble getting past that Northern Gaming defense. They're anticipating these passes, getting in the way, intercepting. Counterattack's a little weak, but Northern Gaming cannot be forgotten about right now. They are moving down the field, and they're starting attacks of their own. Look at connecting with passes as well with Remco. Does get stopped out by Rogue. Off the backboard, Remco will connect with it in the net. Northern Gaming grabs the first goal.
The Northern Gaming special off the backboard. Unfortunate for Sizz as he tried to clear that. It went off the wall. Teammates there on Northern Gaming able to follow up immediately off the backboard to catch that defender off guard, and they get the first goal here on day number 3.
Don't count out Rogue quite yet. We've seen them do the exact same things. They've had so many connected passes here. They just have to find a way to eliminate that defense. Maybe get physical. Start with bumps and demos. But so far, they're doing all right. Only a 1-goal lead for Northern Gaming. We'll see if they can hold on to it. 1.5 minutes into game number 1, and they're trying to get a second one as Northern Gaming creates an attack. Good passing plays from Remco to Devo. It does get connected with Matt. Turtle tries to send the one target. It's there, but Remco will receive that pass or that touch and push it to the side. Now Turbo Pulse and Remco try to get to their own end as the pressure from Rogue starts to surmount. There's Matt with a shot potential. 50-50 going a little bit wide of the net. Remco will get a drift turnaround just to try to take control. Once again, in front of the net, Sizz and Matt trying to work some magic here. Nice wall pinch to get that one out to Matt. Turtle's there as the third in, but he sees Devo ready for that touch, and Northern Gaming will keep that attack at bay. Counter-attack will get stopped out by Turtle.
Good communication as well coming out from Rogue. You saw Turtle go to cheat that, but he decided to fall back. Gets boost, allows his teammate to get up for the save, and the rest of these guys follow suit as they double commit here. Matt's going to take a pass up top. Turbo trying to play it back in middle, but Sizz there to play it up to Turtle.
We're at the 2.5-minute mark now. Northern Gaming has 1 goal unanswered by Rogue. They've been creating chances, but the Northern Gaming defense has been very strong, killing any kind of scoring opportunity at this moment from Rogue. This might be a chance though. Matt is up, puts it on, Bardowski, and they have a tie game.
The man at day 1 who had 10 goals over 4 games, showing up a beautiful pass from Sizz, and then the Bardowski from Matt. He is here to play.
Absolutely fantastic play from them. We've seen them connect with a lot of passes. Finally, getting a goal out of it. Tied game, 2 minutes left. I'm so excited for the rest of the series. Both teams are looking on fire. Neither one of them are struggling to create any kind of opportunities at this point.
Matt did win that, as well as Turtle getting that 50-50 and grabbing the boost, so he's all boosted up as Turtle poises down. Wins that will boost grab as well, but it does matter.
Remco, what a shot, but no finish there from a teammate. Turbo tries to get that out to Devo, but he was way off to the side. What a touch from Remco, though. Just getting a wheel to pop that up towards the net. Incredible plays, and Rogue has to watch out for those.
Well, that's what the guys on the desk were talking about. Northern Gaming has had a really slow start as Matt sneaks another one in.
Slow start or not, they're going to move that one forward, grab a goal, putting themselves into the lead. What an angle from Matt.
To come across the goal and play that back in as he feathers it. What a shot.
Incredible play from Rogue. Once again, though, neither one of these teams can be counted out. Northern Gaming looking to grab a second goal. They have a lot of time left, 1:42. With the passes we've seen from them, they still have every chance in game number 1 to grab that first point.
Well, it has been a battle here so far, and the guys, like I was saying at the desk, they've been talking about the slow start of Northern Gaming and Turbo leading the way. Needing to get Devo involved, he's been a little bit quiet, but in reality...
Turtle. Almost. Remco does get up, but it's not a good spot. Matt tried to read that one. Devo forces it to the side. He had to get onto that. Now he has almost no one in his way. Turtle
here comes
had
Devo.
To get in front. Devo, no finish there. We've seen someone get K-Dop get one like that yesterday, but Devo will not finish it off. Remco, look at that midfield pressure right now. He finds Devo, but a miss there. Will go into the corner. They're gonna have to try again. 1 minute remaining. They have to get a goal!
What a shot!
And Turbo, once again for his team, puts them back on the scoreboard.
Fantastic placement again from Turbo Posa, showcasing that 43% shooting accuracy. Unbelievable. We haven't seen shooting accuracy like that since Season 2 from Rizzo at the Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely incredible. You give the ball to him, and he's gonna put it into the net, all tied up again with a minute remaining. What a way to start day number 3. This is game number 1 in a best of 5. Someone is going home. We have a few more games in this match though, so not quite yet, but Rogue on the defense will try to stop out an attack coming from Northern Gaming. Remco with a good read will pop that off the backboard. Turtle early up to that sends some momentum down the other way. Sizz off the backboard. Devo once again, look how good these guys are at anticipating all these touches from their opponents, being on the wall and ready to get these away. Remco forces that one through into the corner. An awkward situation for Rogue. And now we have Northern Gaming in the lead.
That was a fantastic trap from Turtle, but the issue is it hit the back of the car and it settled in front. Sizz tried to position himself in a way to cost off that 50-50, but it didn't matter. Remco just powered his way through. 30 seconds left. Northern Gaming up by 1.
Rogue has to answer this one with 30 seconds, as you just said. Off the kickoff is a good way to do that, grabbing that momentum shift. As long as their opponents can't find any boost, but they do, they're all settled up. They're gonna have to try something fancy here. Sizz with a touch off the backboard, try to get that out, but it did roll off the roof instead. Awkward spot for Matt. Thankfully for him, he gets pushed back by Turbo Pulsa. Turbo leaves that one for Devo. Devo just pops it in the air. Might be advantageous though for Turtle. Sizz trying to get up there for a pass off the backboard. Turtle to Matt with 2 seconds left. They have to put it on target. It's gonna miss. It's gonna hit the ground. Northern Gaming taking your first game in this best of 5.
What a battle between these two games in the first game of our day here. Unbelievable back and forth. These guys not wanting to drop anything.
I'm just trying, my math is off right now. There's a lot of shots from both these teams. Both teams had incredible offense and defense. I mean, Northern Gaming stopped so many early attacks from Rogue. Rogue was just pummeling them with incredible team passing plays, but then they counterattacked with their own. And once again, Turbo Pulsa coming out clutch for his team. He's on point, and that was really what it comes down to on day number 3. We can see a lot, I mean, we saw it with Rogue. Day number 1, amazing. Day number 2, a little bit rough. And if Turbo Pulsa was a little bit off for Northern Gaming today, that could have been their demise, but he is on
that
point.
shot, man. That shot was absolutely perfect from Turbo Pulsa, and that was the real difference maker other than Remco just powering his way through that. But the big difference as well is those offensive opportunities that Rogue had. One shot after another, they just weren't able to sink it. There were 2 shots ahead in the comparison. Did the math for you.
Thank
you.
Appreciate
But it was very, very close. Just minor differences between these two teams, and it's going to only get crazier.
No, and this is why it's nuts and why it was so close. Both their play styles were actually very similar. A lot of infield passing plays. I mean, you saw it a lot with Sizz. Even at the end there, he was going up that back wall. He's like, I'm going to try to catch them off guard. I'm going to try to get touch out to Turtle or Matt, who was waiting. They just couldn't find it. But game number 2 could spell very different. Very close game in number 1. We're down in game number 2 of this best of 5. Northern Gaming took the first point. Rogue looking to answer back. First 10 seconds, we see Sizz trying to set up a play off the corner. Remco's going to easily steal that one back, but he loses that midfield. Turtle with a touch to Matt. Can he get it in front? Devo doing a really good job defensively. Last game in this one so far.
He's making his name known here as well. He was a little bit quiet day 1 and 2, but seems to be showing up with a back pass all the way to Remco, who's able to trap it and put it back up. Trying to play this off the wall. He plays it inside, but Matt's there on defense as he almost gets another touch. Transition now for Rogue.
Yeah, Remco almost got that touch under, and Sizz gonna try to carry it down the entirety of the field by himself. He will get stopped out by that Northern Gaming defense. A good flick from Devo to Turbo. There's a third man in off the backboard. Devo has a chance, but an incredible anticipation from Matt, and there's a third shot. Turbo Pulsa once again for Northern Gaming.
This is the Northern Gaming we saw yesterday. Everybody in that box, one after another. You think you save it, it doesn't matter. Turbo comes crashing in, and then another perfect placement top left.
And this is why it's so important as a defender to get that touch over to the corner as far as possible, or hard clear back to midfield. I mean, Matt, he didn't really do much there. In all 3 Northern Gaming attacking, he had to do something, but it went back into Turbo Pulsa's hands, and he took another shot. An answer looking to come out here, though, from Rogue as they start an attack off that kickoff. 1 minute in, Northern Gaming has that first goal. Rogue isn't ready to give them another one yet without answering.
That was the big difference, though, for Rogue. They forced all those defenders to go up and make a save. But what Northern Gaming is doing is they're also making sure they have another one attacking in the backfield. Matt was still rotating back to get boost, wasn't there, and they were able to transition it.
Sizz trying for that hard clear. We'll see if Turtle's there to receive it. He'll be a little bit late. Turbo Pulsa already anticipating Remco's touch, gets that down into the box. There's Devo with support. Remco off for boost. It'll be Devo alone in the corner. Now Turtle and Matt a chance to clear it. Nice read from Matt. He'll send that one flying down to the other end. He's got Turtle with support. Shot stopped out by Turbo Pulsa. All over the field this guy is. And Devo as well. It's so hard.
Oh, Devo!
When Northern Gaming is absolutely everywhere.
What a shot from Devo coming out, reading that perfectly off the wall. It takes a ridiculous bounce that Sis just isn't ready for. Perfect play from that wall, able to read it and put it right in.
That's so hard to defend, especially with someone like Devo. When he is above the net, that ball is probably gonna go in. And the defenders from Rogue couldn't stop it. Now we have a 2-0 lead for Northern Gaming. A 1-0 lead in the series total there. Rogue still looking good on the field though. As they try to move this one down, Matt will be out of the play. Sis might try to get it up to him. It'll be stopped by Remco at midfield off the backboard. Turtle's gonna grab a touch. 3 minutes left now for them to break out. They're getting stuck in their own end a little bit. A little bit of back and forth in the corner. Northern Gaming doing good to keep that pressure on. They couldn't generate any kind of scoring opportunity out of it. Not sure that's the touch Matt wanted as it goes right back into the hands of Northern Gaming. 2-man passing play, didn't finish off in a goal. Diva will keep the pressure on. Good defensive rotations coming up from Matt and Turtle as they get back. Sizz will be that third in as a shot comes out from Turbo. Off the wall, just a little bit of a miss there, and Rogue will still stay alive with only 2-goal deficit.
This Northern Gaming team trying to fight that curse, not wanting to drop anything lower than third place as this pressure still amounts. But Sizz is gonna play this downfield, he has a chance. Waiting for that off the net, but here comes Rambo. They both miss as Turbo clears us back into the corner. Rogue starting to pressure more and more with only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in match number 2.
That's rough. Turtle expected a touch, but he backed off instead and wasn't able to take a shot on that missed touch from Northern Gaming. They're still down 2 goals with 2 minutes left. They're looking to make an attack now though. Losing control, Remco's gonna steal it back. Just wants to get a 50-50 in his favor. Devo quickly on that one. Turbo to pounce as well. He's got to buy some time for his teammates now. They're nowhere to be seen. An air dribble flick will be able to get that over Turtle, but not Matt. Stopping at midfield, one defender back. Sizz will have to stop this attack early before it becomes a pass to Remco. He does. Devo to move back. Quick turnaround as Turbo gains control of that. 1:30 left now. Rogue is down, and this will set Northern Gaming at match point. If they can hold on to this 2-0 lead, Rogue is going to be in a very, very difficult situation.
Northern Gaming doing a fantastic job as well. You're talking about buying time on defense. They're not afraid to slow it down and change the pace in their favor. You saw Turbo earlier up on the corner. He completely let it stall in the air just so his teammates could go and grab some boost and get position. Even though the ball went into midfield, it didn't matter. They were rotated back to where they needed to be.
A little bunched up. Sizz tries to get that one off the wall. It's a good touch from Turtle to keep that one out of the hands of Northern Gaming. They do manage to keep it at midfield though. Remco will back off as we see a pop up there from Turbo Pulsa. Finished by himself. Should be an easy save. Wasn't much power on that one. Turtle clears it away, but no follow-up. And they keep ending up doing this. A lot of giveaways and possession handovers to Northern Gaming. And with 46 seconds left, Rogue needs to take control. They need to have this ball in their hands all the way down the field. 2 Spider-Mans on the wall, not the best situation there, as they do give that possession back to Northern Gaming. The pressure on Northern Gaming just has to hold on to this lead, and they will have themselves 2-0 in the series. A best of 5 means they're at match point. 30 seconds now for Rogue as they try to get at least 1 goal in game number 2. A demo as Turbo Pulsa just becomes a nuisance, trying to get in their heads and trying to ruin their confidence at them gaining any kind of points in this series.
Well, it's been difficult with only 15 seconds left, getting boosted on all over the field. Rogue with one last attempt as this ball comes down. 9 seconds left.
And with 5 seconds left, Northern Gaming held on to that 2-0 lead and will be able to walk away with a win, as with 0 seconds left, you can't score 2, maybe 1, but Northern Gaming now at match point as they look to carry themselves further on into this bracket. They have had a curse of only hitting third every single time, and you know they are fiending for a first or second spot, likely first spot, but something better than a third place spot. It's been a curse for season 1 and 2, and right now Rogue is the only people standing in the way for them to get that point, and they're down 2-0 in the series.
Well, for Rogue, this is a big deal for them. They came in as the clear number 2 for North America. They are trying to prove that they are at that echelon of play just like NRG, but it's been very difficult. This Northern Gaming team, even with the sub and Turbo Pulsa, is looking absolutely phenomenal. They're playing at their peak.
You're right. I mean, yesterday we even saw it, and that's why I was worried about today. Maybe things will change. They started to have so much speed by the end of day number 2, and now coming into day number 3, they've kept it. Turbo Pulsa everywhere, Devo stepping it up, and Remco. I mean,
yesterday I think he wasn't perfectly happy with his play, but today he's got to be. They're doing everything on that pitch, and they're working together, and it's showing. Up 2-0 in the series now, Rogue has to make some changes. You can see them talking. You know they're going over a game plan. They're getting amped up. They came out strong. The confidence is there. At the speed just started to lack in game number 2.
Right, that's the big difference between these two teams, though. Both very, very fast play styles, but what Northern Gaming is doing is they're making it to their advantage. They're slowing it down when they need to. They're keeping the play style in their favor, and then they counterattack very, very quickly. Unfortunately for Rogue, they haven't been able to handle it just yet, but we know they can match these guys if they try their best.
Game number 3. Rogue is going to need your energy coming into this one because Northern Gaming sits up 2-0 at match point, looking to eliminate Rogue from Season 3 World Championships. On day number 3, and an early goal is going to set the pace for Northern Gaming. Rogue now has to catch up.
Luckily for them, it's only 5 seconds. They can easily shake that one off. It just seems to be a lack of communication there. I think Turtle thought someone was behind him as he tried to go around and move upfield. But unfortunately for them, they're going to get a quick one here for Northern Gaming.
Kickoffs can end up in that situation if you're not careful. They just got to shake this one off, move on to the next goal. They have almost an entire game to be able to answer this one back and grab a leading goal. So Rogue has to shake it off, say we still got this, we're still in this game, we can reverse sweep this one. Good stop there from Sizz. We'll back Turbo Pulsa off to midfield. He will take that one off the wall, but there's Turtle to intercept. Matt is ready for a play. As that drops down, we'll see what Northern Gaming does. Devo to Remco as he clears that to midfield. Sizz was ready for that one, but both Sizz and Turtle a little bit antsy. It actually works out for them. A shot just a little bit wide. Matt forcing into that, had to be careful. Could have been a long shot for Northern Gaming had he missed that ball.
Oh, looks like Remco's going to go for a backflip here to fake out Turtle, but Turtle reads it very well. Fortunately for Northern Gaming, they play it right back into Matt as the pressure's starting to come out from Rogue. Sizz plays it up high in the corner. Devo looking to spider clear it off. He plays it in the middle. A chance for Turtle, just missing wide.
Both teams doing a really good job of anticipating everyone's touches. They're waiting patiently for that possession hand away. And that's what Rogue was doing a lot to Northern Gaming and why they ended up with a 2-0 lead in game number 2 and a win. And they look to have made those changes. Hopefully for them, it can result in goal, but hopefully for Northern Gaming, they can just hold on to this 1-0 lead for the remainder of this match. Just over a minute 20 into game number 3. Northern Gaming looking at match point, looking to knock Rogue out of this tournament as they are up 2-0 in the series. A chance there for Sizz, but it gets stopped out.
Great mechanical play by Sizz as well. He goes for an air dribble, but he recognizes that he has a little bit extra time on that shot. So he jumps again after to put a little bit of power trying to catch this team off guard. But Northern Gaming's defense has been phenomenal.
It's a brick wall at this point, and Rogue is still having difficulty trying to break passes. They're getting scoring opportunities, but it's getting stopped at every single moment by the Northern Gaming defense. They're sitting up 1-0. That's all they have to do. Have a strong defense, keep that midfield pressure up, and just stop Rogue from creating any kind of chances of their own. As they do that right now, Turtle will get a touch over Turbo. Remco, nice ground pinch there. We'll set it to Devo, just a little bit too far though, and Sizz will be able to set that to Matt. What a touch!
Oh my goodness.
On target, had that gone in, that would have been incredible, but Turbo was waiting for that in defense. Devo with a touch on net, stopped out by Sizz. He keeps them alive, only a 1-goal deficit still, but this is a rough spot now. Turbo trying to force it in. We've seen Northern Gaming be able to put these in before. Devo just misses that one to the wide, but this pressure is not up yet. Northern Gaming just relentless on the attack. A demo could be a scoring chance now as Turbo gets it to Remco, drop in front of the net. Rogue is starting to struggle on defense as Northern Gaming pressure is just pushing, and it might result in the goal, but a mistouch there could be the pressure relief that Rogue needed.
Well, the pressure is there, and Devo is not being quiet today, going for crazy shots, and then following up with demos right after. But this Rogue defense doing a really good job keeping this still within one. As Sizz and Turbo go for a 50-50, it's going to land right in the midfield. Who's going to get to it first? It's going to go in favor of Remco, but it does not matter as Sizz is there to play it back in.
Devo with a hard clear down into that blue end. Turtle misses the one off the wall there. Devo did as well. That's going to keep Rogue alive. Sizz stops out that attack there from Remco, moves back to midfield, but Matt is way too far behind to do anything. Pushing a little bit too much instead of waiting for the touch from Turbo. He'll have to rotate back to defense. Sizz and Turtle looking to move upfield. Matt might have a chance to clear here. Devo almost getting that one past Remco to put the pressure on. Look at all of Northern Gaming now start to push up past that midfield. Stop from Sizz, keeps him alive. A minute 30 left now for Rogue to get 1 goal or they are eliminated from this tournament. Everything, it's do or die coming in this final minute of gameplay, and that might be the do, as it does get stopped up by Remco. Passing plays between Rogue are what they need. They need to connect with each other. Find those passing plays infield and get the shots on net. They're getting stuck in their own end quite a bit now. The pressure from Northern Gaming, that was a scary spot as that ball rolled across the net. 1 minute remaining now for Rogue to grab one single goal to keep themselves tied up in this game, to keep their dreams alive of winning the World Championships for Season 3 of the RLCS. Northern Gaming looking to crush that with a full sweep. Turbo will wait off. What a touch coming up from Devo. Turbo up to Remco, off the crossbar. No finish there from Northern Gaming. Rogue, 40 seconds left now for them to be able to get a play. Sizz will pop that one, but stopped out by Turbo to the far side. Remco will miss that one. A chance for Sizz, but a miss there. We'll give Devo some time to put an attack on his own. He's going to just kill the clock now. All they have to do is hold on to this lead, and they will be able to walk away with that full 3-0 sweep on Rogue. Rogue starting the attack. Turtle and Sizz working together. Turtle, an air dribble into the net. And Sizz will get the credit for the tie.
The duo coming out from these boys. What a play from Turtle to dribble that up slow and steady and then play that to Sizz. What are you doing?
I'm out of breath from that play. Rogue, absolutely incredibly, ties this one up at team play. They needed this one, and the crowd is amped. They're ready to see this one going in overtime. 1 goal though for Northern Gaming will end the series. 1 goal for Rogue will bring this to a game at number 4. As this clock hits 1, the ball will touch the ground, and we have an overtime.
Overtime game number 3. Do or die moment for Rogue Esports. Trying to make sure they stay alive in this bracket as they bring this offense down. Now with a shot just wide.
Wide of the net there, but they're not ready to give up. We see Turtle waiting patiently. He knows Devo had a shot. He'll touch it off the roof. A second one keeps that away from Remco. Great display of mechanics here as they move down the field. All 3 Northern Gaming pushed up. Matt can't take advantage. Turtle a little bit too far forward there. Sizz will try to get that block. Turtle rotates back to defense. A nice pop back down into the Northern Gaming end will force Turbo Pulse to use up his boost. He gets it to Remco, forces that one down to the blue end. 1 goal here will spell the demise of Rogue, as they're looking to bring this back into a game number 4 to keep their dreams alive. Northern Gaming trying to kill that now as they move back down into the blue end. Rogue has to clear it. They do. Devo reads it. A shot on net, though. Turtle will clear that one hard. He connects with Sizz, who puts it on target. Remco is going to save that one. Upfield cherry picks. That's what they need to put these shots on net against Northern Gaming.
Remco has been absolutely fantastic on defense. Just one shot at another open net, but Devo able to get back.
Devo has been absolutely clutch on the saves right now for Northern Gaming. He is everywhere. And as they move upfield, they all try to create a counterattack. Turtle to intercept that one in front of the net. Scary spot. A shot by Remco, and Rogue is going home. Northern Gaming will move on to the bracket, trying to beat that 3rd place curse that they've had with a full 3-0 sweep.
Turtle doing his absolute best, trying to stay in the air on that one. He recognized the touch to the outside, got up as quick as he could, but Turbo Pulsa just too much to play that back in, and they catch him on the far post. But this team has been loving this so much, and they were so close to bringing that back, but Northern Gaming was just too much. That pressure, that boost starvation on offense, able to suffocate this Rogue squad.
It was an absolutely incredible match. I mean, Rogue puts on a show. They know what the audience wanted, and they gave it to them. So close to being able to pull that one back. A 16-second goal to tie it up, to bring it to overtime. These guys made an appearance, and they did it well. But Northern Gaming is so fast and strong, and Turbo Pulsa proving to be one of the best. And I'm sorry I'm sorry, Turbo, you called me on Twitter, but you are, I guess, officially the best sub in the RLCS right now.
He's proven it, man. With that shot accuracy not dropping at all, absolutely phenomenal with these placements. And they talked about how important it was for Devo to step up. He needed to be an asset in this game, and both him and Remco played their part.
Absolutely
Devo
incredible.
up on offense, off the backboards, those shots, and then Remco absolutely clutch on defense. Save after save, unbelievable.
No, you're right. I mean, it was insane. All 3 members of Northern Gaming were doing their part. It wasn't just Turbo today doing the carry. All 3 of them got involved. I mean, again, so many times I saw Devo just appearing out of nowhere, flying past and getting a save for their team. And, well, it's incredible. I want to hear from one of these guys, actually. We got Remco, I think, on the stage with Awesome Joey, so we're going to go talk to them.
All right, guys, we got Remco here from Northern Gaming. Give it up for those boys, huh? All right. All right, man, so quickly just referencing how that was ending there with the dribble up by Turtle and then Sizz putting that in. Were you guys kind of like, whoa, for a second? How did you feel when that happened?
Yeah, when they scored like that and I heard the crowd, it was like, please don't let the reverse sweep happen. But I'm glad we pulled it back and won that game. So.
Very nice, very nice. So now you guys haven't been playing up to your potential, I'd say, coming up to this point. And then after that showing, how do you feel you guys are playing now?
I'd say breakout was the problem. So I'm back to Octane now, and yeah, we're actually playing decent. I'm really happy with how we played today. The comms were good, the rotation was good. Yeah, all around it was really good for us.
Well done. So next up's going to be Leftovers and Flip Side. You guys are going to be playing the winners of that. Who do you want to play, and how do you think that matchup is going to go?
We've been playing pretty well against Flipside and Scrim, so honestly I don't really mind, but I'm expecting to play Flipside. And considering Flipside does have the LAN experience, I'd rather face Leftovers. But yeah, either will work. I think we can beat both for sure.
Great. So anything else you would like to say to the fans out there, family?
Thank you so much to the fans for watching, especially the European ones at home, because right here it's it's a bit, it's kind of an American crowd, but we can deal with it. It's fine.
Well done. Well, you guys have heard from Remco and Northern Gaming. We're going to send it back over to the desk now with Axel Toss.
Thank you, Joey, and congrats to Northern Gaming. Very solid start to the day. At first, we were getting to the end there. We saw that overtime. The crowd was really into it. I was into it too. But ultimately, Northern Gaming able to shut that door, and they're going to stay alive in the tournament. Unfortunately for Rogue, they're out of the tournament.
And Northern Gaming, they put on a clinic that entire series, just controlled the ball on the other half of the field all day, and then Remco with the placements, Turbo with the placements were the difference makers.
And no shame to Rogue at all. They didn't look too good, but that's because Northern Gaming was controlling the pitch so much. The midfield was all Northern Gaming. They kept taking the boost, and there wasn't much Rogue could do.
It really, well, it started off pretty well for Rogue in the first game. It seemed like they were going to have that chance, but then after they lost that first game, you could really start to see Northern Gaming start to dominate.
Yeah, and I remember we were talking yesterday, what does Northern Gaming need to focus on? And we talked about Devo a lot, and I thought he came out in a big way in that series, and that's really important for them. But let's take another look at that one in the form of your Mobile One high-performance replay. Again, Northern Gaming taking out Rogue to advance in the bracket.
And here in game one, it was like the scrappy lightweight playing really well versus the heavyweight of Europe, but then the heavyweight, they have the endurance in games 2 and 3, controlling the entire field. It was in no question, I felt like game 2, and then Turbo shot here, the placements, like they were peppering shots, and then eventually they would find those corners. This play by Remco, so much patience here to just power this through. Remco had a great series.
Yeah, he even used his boost to chase that down to make sure it went in, but this, every single member of Northern Gaming getting in, that was a counter attack as well. And then Turbo just putting that, tucking that in the top left corner of the net. Northern Gaming was on fire.
We saw this over and over again. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and normally a team is done. But they went for 4, number 5, draw everyone out of the net, and as you can see, a couple of open nets because they pulled everyone out.
And plus, Rogue looked slow. It's because they had 0 boost.
Remco used the underside of his, get that perfectly placed shot to put, and Remco used that
5, draw everyone out of the net, and as you can see, a couple of open nets because they pulled everyone out.
And plus, Rogue looked slow. It's because they had 0 boost like the entire game. It was all Northern Gaming just taking those corner boosts and then getting those passing plays right in front.
And Remco used the underside of his car there in overtime to get that perfectly placed shot to put Northern Gaming through with a sweep over Rogue.
Yeah, truly a perfect start there for Northern Gaming, and momentum again, super important, especially in a LAN environment. They're going to be playing the winner of Flipside and Leftovers. But guys here in the World Tournament, if we can give it up for Rogue one more time. What an amazing tournament from Rogue. A lot of questions coming in to this event, North America versus Europe, but I think Rogue came through in a big way and gave us an awesome show. So Rogue, we'll see you next time. But let's keep going here at the World Championships. You're watching day 3. By the end of the day, we're going to be crowning a world champion. Speaking of champions, coming up next, we have your defending world champions entering the stage. It's Flipside Tactics going up against the Leftovers. We're going to take a short break here from the World Championships. Don't go anywhere.
Old Spice's most powerful antiperspirant. I escaped Sweat's curfew on my body, and I was free to break down barriers between man and beast. Finally, the answers to all my questions would be revealed. Excuse me?
You look confused.
I just don't get it. So the new Brisk is watermelon and lemonade?
What don't you get?
Is it watermelon flavored lemonade or lemonade flavored watermelon?
Let me show you, James. The Merc is a bold watermelon flavor, and the Scarab is a blast of lemonade flavor. Does that make sense? I guess it didn't matter, James, huh?
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
It's a London dialect. It should sound like this. Death before dishonor.
Death before dishonor.
No, like a king.
Death before dishonor.
Oh, no.
What?
Death before dishonor.
This lesson could be your very last.
If you threaten my life one more time today, I'm in my car and I'm off home.
Then go home.
Hey, Gibbs.
What's up, man?
Getting some games in after all that casting?
Yeah, and close overtime, trying to hit that grand champ. Can you do me a favor, though?
Yeah, what's up?
This personal space issue, can you please move over there?
Okay.
Just trying to win a game here. 2, can you actually grab me some more Brisk of watermelon lemonade? They're only at 7-Eleven, very limited, and I'm almost out.
Yeah, I was gonna go there anyway.
Thanks, dude. Can you actually grab all of them for me? James! Grab all of them! James, I'm serious!
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
hardest working collection from Old Spice. Don't smell yourself short.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series Season 3 World Championships. We're live from the Wiltern in Los Angeles. Good to see you guys in the crowd. Hope that you guys are having a great time. Just saw Rogue fall to Northern Gaming getting swept. Northern Gaming looking really good today, but we're back here on the desk. Axeltos, Gibbs, James Spot. We got Lawler joining us here. How's it going, Lawler?
Pretty good. That game was absolutely insane.
Yeah. For a second there, I thought Rogue could make that comeback happen.
It was close, man. Like that last second, that 16 seconds, his turtle, like I was like, all right, they got this. It's over. And then, of course, Remco on defense, absolutely stepping up for his team today.
Well, Northern Gaming, perfect start, 3-0 sweep. We're going to be moving on. Let's take a look at the updated bracket here to get everyone caught up on what's going on. Again, if you're just now joining us, here's a look at the upper bracket. Rocket Esports versus NRG is going to be happening a little bit later. That is going to be a best of 7 in the upper finals. Both teams, their respective regional champions, I should say. This moves us to the lower bracket, where we just saw, again, Northern Gaming with a sweep over Rogue 3-0, and now we have Flipside versus the Leftovers.
And then whoever wins this has to play Northern Gaming, and after that sweep, that's a little worrying, but that's what happens when you get dropped down to the lower bracket. You have to run the gauntlet.
Yeah, and yet again, 3 European teams in the top 4 and only 1 North American team making it in the top 4, and that's NRG. But Flipside and Leftovers, that's the next series that we're going to see.
Pretty reminiscent of the first land, isn't it, boys?
And honestly, you see the Leftovers there. They lost in the beginning of the tournament, and now they're trying to put a bit of a run together. So we'll have to see if they can carry through that momentum. Meanwhile, Flipside falling to NRG, one of the awesome matches from yesterday, to get to this point. But Flipside Tactics, let's talk about them first. You're defending world champions from Amsterdam. We had the chance to sit down with Marky Dudok from Flipside Tactics. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
I got into Rocket League because when we got a PS3, I was like scrolling through all the terrible indie games, and then I saw like a car football game that someone had actually put some thought into, and I was like, oh, here we go. So I played the crap out of that for like 4 years, 5 years, and then they made a sequel finally, long-awaited sequel, and it's just bought it on the day it came out, and here I am. Winning season 2 was a good feeling. I think it was like a lot of it was relief because we were like super heavy favorites. We'd stolen one of the best players in the world from our rival team, so we were definitely expected to win. So it was like once we won RLCS last season, I think all of us just threw a bunch of money in the bin and went on like holidays and bought like stupid young adult stuff, just random things on the internet that looked like a good idea at the time, but just are not. Against Resonant, it was, I think, we were like hyped and we were like psyched up to play, and then we started getting, sat on, and we got to like 3-1 down in games. I think we conceded a goal, and I started shouting. I was just screaming. And every time we did a remotely good touch, I was like, good hit, Greasy. Just like the stupidest things, and then we just took that momentum and that energy and we just plowed through and scraped it. And then after the winning goal, we went mental for about 3 minutes, just screaming obscenities and down the microphone, waking all the neighbors. It was good. Biggest difference between online and offline is you can get messed up with placebos if you're at a different setup, even just like a different desk with a different PC, even if it's basically the exact same, just being in a different environment sort of messes with your head, I think, for a lot of people. And the second one is like the stage and being able to hear everything, because like although the headphones cancel out quite a bit, you can still hear the casters. So when you like flop past the ball and do a terrible shot, and then you hear Shogun go, what a crap shot by Mark, it's like, oh, thanks. Cheers, Shogun. I'll fix that next time. I'd really like to win again, and I think we can win again, but I'm not as confident as last season. There's some tough teams out there. It's a lot closer between us and everyone else. I quite like the fan experience, like going around and getting people chatting to you. It's quite nice. I just, sometimes they talk to you whilst you're in the toilet, and it's like, There's 2 minutes to urinate. I'll be right with you. Thanks. Came all the way to Holland for a Glaswegian bloke to scream at me whilst I'm peeing. I'd like to say to the fans that I'm glad there's so many of you that feel the same way about Rocket League as we do, and I hope we can make you feel even stronger.
Ladies and gentlemen, your defending world champions, give it up for Flipside Tactics!
Here we see the greatest team of all time in Rocket League history, taking the stage once again through the lower bracket.
Yeah, finishing second place in the first World Championship, taking down that #1 spot in the second, and now fighting to stay alive, a position that they're used to here on the world stage.
It is literally their favorite position, to come from behind and be the guy that knocks everybody else out. They just keep snowballing with this momentum as they take one team out after another. I am afraid for anybody who has to play these guys. This is where they love to be.
And we were talking to Johnny Boy yesterday on the desk. We're like, all right, Flipside, why do they have to be in that position? He's like, you know what? We got to figure out how to get them to play that way when everything's not on the line.
Yeah.
So yes, one of the greatest storylines we see in these Rocket League championships are those lower bracket runs, and Flipside has history there. So we'll have to see if they can do that. Let's take a look at the rosters one by one here. Star-studded team, starting with Greasy.
And Greasy deserves so much of the credit for Flipside even being here today with a phenomenal EU Championship performance.
Unfortunately, they've got another guy that usually overshadows him. Cookser 97, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm curious to see if he actually had that double espresso shot with all his sugars today.
And then the team captain, Marky Duda. We're going to see what Shogun has to say about him soon, but you can expect him to play extremely well here.
And like you said, Gibbs, this is the team to beat in the Season 3 World Championship. These guys defending their title, and they know how to perform when they are in that lose-go-home situation.
Such a fun team to watch, and if there's anything that you'll learn watching Flipside Tactics, do not count them out. If you remember early on in the tournament, Flipside was playing against Selfless, and time was winding down. Flipside was about to get knocked down to the lower bracket, and Cookser 97 said, you know what, I feel like scoring a couple goals. He scored with 0 seconds left to push to overtime, and then scored in overtime to convert the victory for Flipside to advance in the bracket. So don't count Flipside out. Defending world champs, excited to see them play. But let's shift focus here to their opponents, the Leftovers. We had the chance to sit down with Farah from that team. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Finally making it in Season 3 is a dream coming true, and I'm just happy about it. Rocket League is growing in France, definitely. I think there is a pretty big community in France, and there is some French casters as well. My strengths are mainly my ability to score goals. I just like to score, I just like to shoot a lot. So that's pretty much what I do, and Snazky and Siki are both really good players, and they rotate really well, so it's kind of easy for me to fit in this team. I'm just being aggressive, and Sticky and Snazky are doing the defensive work mainly. So I'm the goal scorer. I guess we'll try to do a lot of passing plays. I'm not sure if it will work, but that's what we were trying to do the last RLCS games we had. Apart from that, yeah, I think you can expect us to have a lot of fun. We are not here to lose. We just want to go as far as possible. So you're like, yeah, let's just play like we always do, and we'll see what happens. And we start to win, and we start to win again, and we're like, let's do this. If it happens that we actually win the World Champion, I don't know, I will be happy about it, but I'm not gonna consider that I'm gonna be a top 3 players because I don't feel like it, you know? I think to come here is already a great experience for me. I mean, it's the first time that I'm coming to the United States, so I'm just happy to be here. I'm looking to have a lot of fun, and if we can get some wins, I'll be happy.
They need your support to keep it going here. Give it up for the Leftovers!
And there you see Snazky, so snazzy, bringing up the rear. This Leftover team, they are the scrappy bunch, the fighters that just fought to get here to this stage in an unbelievable fashion.
Well, we saw it a little bit in the last series that they had. A lot of it came down to communication. They've done such a good job. Their comms have been better than ever before.
Such a fun team to watch. They're known for reverse sweeping. In week 1 of this season, they beat both Flipside Tactics and Northern Gaming, and now looks like they're trying to reverse sweep this tournament. We'll see if they can do that. But let's go player by player here for this Leftovers roster that came together at the last second.
Yeah, and Farah, he talked about how much he likes to score goals. Well, he was the leading scorer in both of the series versus the OCE teams, which the Leftovers sent home.
Well, the man who allows him to do that is Siki. So strong on defense, not just because of the way that he saves the ball, but the way that he controls it.
And here comes the boom. Snasky coming in. He was not happy with yesterday's performance, but they're slowly warming up here. And honestly, I wouldn't want to play either of these teams in a lower bracket setting because they both love that atmosphere.
And the Leftovers, they really are that come-from-behind story with how many reverse sweeps, how many Game 5s they've had, how many times we've counted them out, predicted against them, and they still managed to prevail. And now, this is it. This is their last chance to stay in the RLCS. They've done it before, but here against the defending world champions, it's going to be very difficult for them to keep alive.
Nice poster there in the audience. I like it. Leftovers taking out Jam Gaming, and then Sydney taking out all the OCE region to get to this point. But now, again, the defending world champions, Flipside Tactics. We have some more stats to look at, compare a couple of these players. We got Farah from Leftovers and Cooks here from Flipside.
And Cooks here, 0 seconds or overtime, it doesn't matter. That's where he's scoring all of his goals. Greasy will do the work otherwise, but Cooks, so clutch.
Well, for Farah, he said he likes to score goals, and he's been doing just that. The follow-up that he's been setting up, even with a couple of those shots, he's using it on his own. Like, he had one where he played it off the crossbar, played it right back to himself, and another shot just to draw out that defender. He's getting as creative as possible, and it's really helping out.
Flipside Tactics versus the Leftovers, this best of 5. To stay alive in the tournament, we are moments away. Again, just a reminder, get on Twitter, use the hashtag RLCSWCS3. We are making history today as we build closer and closer to crowning our Rocket League World Champion. But Flipside Tactics versus Leftovers, it's time for our predictions. Gibbs, we'll start with you.
Well, it's the surprise team versus the team everyone expected to be here, and I don't even think they have to play these games anymore. 13 for 13, let's make it 14. I got Flipside Tactics in a pretty easy series. We'll give 1 game to the Leftovers.
I'm going to have to agree with you here. We've seen Flipside do it time and time again. They always manage to make it to the finals on this world stage, and it's not going to be any different in this series. I have Flipside over the Leftovers.
Well, Gibbs said it better than himself. He hasn't been wrong yet today, and you can't disagree with the Gibbs.
This weekend. He has not been wrong yet this weekend.
True. I do own that wizard hat, Gibbs. Don't forget that. So, Flipside Tactics. You can't go against history. These guys yet again are going to take it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. This is their environment. They love that lower, I mean, I don't know if they love that lower bracket, but they're good at winning in that environment. I have Flipside Tactics as well. Moving on over the Leftovers. Again, let us know what you think on social media, Twitter, Twitch. Join the conversation. Let's have some fun here. Next best of 5, moments away from beginning. It's Flipside Tactics versus the Leftovers. Who's moving on and who's going home? It's time to go down to the commentary desk.
Thank you very much, Axel, and it is a European Titan showdown between the 2 most clutch teams in RLCS history. The Leftovers have been performing Game 5 miracles since week 2 of the qualifiers, and now they find themselves on Championship Sunday here at the World Championships.
Described by JamesBot as scrappy, I think it's pretty accurate to assume.
Very accurate.
They're a pretty scrappy squad. They do whatever it takes for the win. It's not always pretty, but they do everything usually at the last second, but so does Flipside Tactics. If there's any team, I think, that waits till way too long to start performing, I mean, even earlier their series against Selfless, I don't know how they pull it off. They managed to do well under pressure. I think this is going to be their advantage.
And neither of these teams have necessarily had that convincing of a series just yet, but one of them will be meeting Northern Gaming in the next round. Who will it be? The Leftovers or Flipside Tactics? Let's find out. We are at DFH Stadium for game number 1. It's going to be interesting to see who can take these boosts, considering both of these teams are a speed-based strategy for both of them. Although the Leftovers are a little bit more positioning focused. There's Snasky, who's got the opportunity to take control. It's going to come off the backboard, but Marky can launch that long, and there's going to be no one back. Going to go for the sidewall, though. As Greasy will be one of the men to watch. Him and Siki fill very similar roles on both teams. Pretty much the glue that holds them together and does not allow mistakes to come through.
Leftovers enjoy the passing plays. Over 80% of their goals scored in league play were from passes.
There's going to be a shot straight off the side. But Cooks here did have it covered, even though he didn't need to. Just does not want Snasky to get a rebound shot. as Farah will leave that for Siki as he takes up the wall, making great use of the extra height you can gain by going up there. Pass over from Marky to Greasy, as Cooks is going to hold this backline. Smart challenge from him. Snasky pulled the ball too far out, and Farah will be able to deal with Cooks' touch.
Flat zeros across the board, by the way. No shots for anybody, no saves, no assists, no goals. Super slow paced early on, but with this much threat on the board of potential elimination, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, both these teams going for more of a launching shot from each side of the field, just not wanting the ball anywhere near their goal. That seems to be priority number one, and getting a goal priority number two. Snasky's got his opportunity, tries to take the ball into the air. He's got another flick, puts it up high. Rebound opportunity for Farah, but Greasy comes in last second to move it away. Here's another shot from Siki, but Cooks here will happily take that. He's got Greasy around to help him out. Still 0-0. We are almost 2 minutes into this first game, and the Leftovers, this is pretty much their favorite type of match where they can just slow it down and grind it out. They are positioning based, they do not want mistakes, and if Siki is playing well, they will not make them.
And Flipside are good at overwhelming, so I'm surprised that I haven't seen them start an attack, but I think they want that first tiny mistake out of Leftovers. They want to make sure that they pin them against their own backboard to keep them in the goal, but they haven't been able to start an attack just yet.
Snasky pushing it to the side, but Marky's read it. Tries to turn himself around. As Cooks will take it up the wall, he probably can do it yet again. He's pushing into the middle, trying to get himself a second touch. As Greasy just pushing it into the corner, and that's going to hand the possession back over to Leftovers in a game that pretty much is exactly what they did against Alpha Sydney yesterday, just grinding out those 1-0 wins. I get a feeling that Flipside Tactics might be falling into a trap as Greasy leaves it for a second. He's managed to fake out Snasky with that, just that extra second, almost pulled Snasky out of position. But he did not jump early, so Snasky's able to take control, but this time two players commit, Snasky and Farah. I mean, Siki that time come together and correct both of their mistakes.
Team pinch, I guess?
Just team flailing, it hopefully works. But it certainly did.
This is it, Flipside starting to get those volley of attacks. They finally have put Leftovers on defense. They're starting to starve them out of boost as well.
Yeah, you can see Farah going all the way out to the middle of the field to try and get some boost. He's going to rotate himself back. Marky Duda and the rest of Flipside Tactics are going to try and do their best Northern Gaming impression with the amount of time they can keep the Leftovers in their own half. But Snasky using that Batmobile for extra catapult power across the field. Minute and 30 remaining, still scoreless here. As we can see, Snasky sat all the way back. This is exactly why, so he can immediately gobble up that shot. He's managed to find Siki, but Siki couldn't turn himself around. Here's Farah. He's actually been beat by Marky Duda. This is something Flipside Tactics will do quite often once they feel quite comfortable. Leave someone downfield and just try and launch the ball directly at the person, because they're so mechanically strong, they can usually deal with whatever comes for them. 60 seconds now remaining. We have hit silver goal territory. Greasy just pushing that straight back over to the Leftovers, hoping that Siki would make a mistake. And they've managed to get possession of the ball, but immediately transitioned back into the Flipside half. As Farah with yet another challenge. Marky Duda can try and move forward. Actually, here comes the shot, and there's going to be Siki. That is a boomer.
It seems that Flipside were ready for a pass as opposed to a shot. Cookser came, cheated up just past the post, so he had backwards momentum when the shot came in. Leftovers get the first goal with only 37 seconds left.
That is the silver goal right there. Marky Duda and the rest of Flipside need to now pick up the pace. They have fallen into the Leftovers trap, and it might cost them this first game. Marky Duda with the launching pass, but it's only up to Snasky to turn it towards his own net. That is an own goal! Snasky, no!
I don't even want to talk about it.
You're gonna have to.
This is absolutely devastating. Trying to cheat that through. Doesn't want Marky to follow it up to the corner, but Siki was back there. He should have just allowed Siki to do it. Not only was he putting himself out of position and probably a tad bit of boost, but he shot it on his own net.
It's one of those situations where not only was it a bad touch from Snasky, but that lack of communication that Leftovers pretty much do. They don't really talk to each other much. Apart from, yeah, well done, mostly congratulatory stuff. And that time they did need a call from Siki just to say it was his. Now Snasky finds himself pretty far back, but he's managed to find the safe corner as Cooks puts it up high, and we are going to go into overtime if this ball touches the floor, and it will. Overtime in game one.
Leftovers were so close. They had it in the bag. Right now, both teams tied at 4 shots apiece. A very slow game for both of these teams.
Greasy's going to have his opportunity to play the ball in the corner, and he has. Farah should be beats that by Marky, puts the ball up high, but Farah, the ball just sort of lands on him, and he will take it. Sicky's going to have his opportunity. He tries to look for Farah downfield. That will be very difficult to work with as they're pushing pass from Cooks it over to Marky. They got it somewhere dangerous. Sicky is pretty far back. He's plenty of boosts, so any sort of long balls played by Flipside Tactics will have next to no effect. But Marky's actually pulled out Sicky, but Farah in that midfield area is just going to happily get rid of it. This game is slowing down yet again. You have to feel like that suits the Leftovers as Cooks it tried to fake out Snasky. Was not going to happen. Now Snasky's going to keep taking the ball all the way down the other side of the field. Very useful yesterday as a moving brick wall, constantly getting blocked, so we haven't seen it as much from him. Greasy puts that ball up high, and Marky rotates back because he wants to get himself up the wall, but Snasky, playing the speed game, gets there first.
I'm with you. I think I have to agree. Leftovers will probably thrive a bit more in the slow-paced game.
Oh!
Cooks here.
Cooks here predicts the backboard, expects Farah to try and go off that side because it is his only option, and just takes the shot. Cooks here, tell me the lottery numbers, boy, because you can tell the future.
I don't think I have ever been that caught off guard by a goal. I would have sworn that would have been cleared off the backboard, but Cooks here, knowing that he pinned that defender into only one option, was able to follow suit. He predicted the touch as opposed to the initial bounce. Fantastically played by him, and what looked like a dire situation, down by 1 goal with about 30 seconds left. An own goal by Leftovers, followed by an overtime goal in Cooks here, will give Flipside Tactics the first game.
And how's that going to feel for the Leftovers? They have effectively given up that first match with the own goal. Had it continued on, they would probably have picked up the win, but instead they find themselves 1 goal down in this elimination series.
It cannot feel good, but I think they should be able to pick themselves up. Again, the scrappiest team here, they'll fight for the victory, and so will Flipside. A Game 5 overtime would be fitting for both of these teams.
Certainly would be, like we said earlier, the most clutch teams around, but the stats, pretty low. Only 9 shots between both teams.
Yeah.
That is a very slow-paced game.
We were seeing games yesterday with 9 shots apiece per team.
Yes.
So this is about half the pace, half the shots. Flipside, they weren't taking many risks, and I don't know how I feel about that, mostly because if there's any team that's mechanically strong enough to succeed in those risks, Flipside is one of them. Hey, there it is.
And if you like that right there, that is going to be an in-game item, or I think it already might be.
Duda Hustle.
Duda Hustle. Well played indeed. As we are going to hit game number 2 on Manfield. Who is going to be able to continue on here? Can Flipside capitalize on the momentum they have already gained? Or will the Leftovers be able to bounce back from that Game 1 loss? As Greasy actually is already going to try and get outside, but he couldn't get any sort of contact. Cooks are up high already. That's going to bounce down dangerously. It might already drop in, and there's Marky Duda early onto the shot.
A fortunate 50-50 early on. Cooks here was trying to follow suit, but Marky Duda's the one who kept up the pressure. Farah did read that well, but he didn't get there quick enough. He was under the ball while his opponent met the ball more head on, pitched it over him, and Flipside Tactics within 14 seconds take the lead in game number 2.
So now a 3-goal streak for Flipside Tactics, unchallenged by the Leftovers, who need to start getting themselves back on the board. Marky's going to put early pressure. Farah does get beat to the ball. Here comes Cooks, pushes it down to Greasy, and this is something they were doing so well at scrims, and it's going to mean another goal for Flipside Tactics.
I thought we may have seen our first pool shot here at the RLCS. Watch Porsicki get slammed by Greasy into the net. He manages to still land, correct himself, and take the shot. 2 goes up, 30 seconds in.
Greasy, one of the best players in the world right now at pretty much everything: shooting, positioning, defensive positioning, boost management, anything you can think of, Greasy Meister can do, and apparently we're going to add on pull shots to that list.
Something to watch out for, though. Remember, the last time that these 2 teams met, it was a reverse sweep in favor of the Leftovers.
Marky tries to tap that one straight down as Greasy's pushed it. It's like he has to get there because he knows Marky Duda is still behind him, and he was. He's now pushed all the way to corner. Farah just wants to try and get a block, but he can't quite get there in time. Snasky looking for a double tap. He's managed to get it. That is a phenomenal goal. Here comes the boom.
A bit of a redemption from his own goal. Following that through with nearly no momentum. Marky did not expect him to keep that up. On honestly, after you see a player make connection with the ball and lose all momentum, you'd never expect them to just try and use the rest of their tank to get to the ball. But Snaski tried to go for the wild card, and it paid off.
And even more impressive there is the fact that he didn't use any boost for a long time after the touch. So Marky Dudar gets forced into a false sense of security because he thinks, all right, Snaski's done. There's nothing left for him to work with. And instead, Snaski comes in, last possible moment, boosts, get there before him. Well played, but they are still one more goal behind. They've got plenty of time to do something about it, though. Snaski is right in the way. Farah finds himself pushing that ball straight towards Marky, though, as Kux gets that into the air. He's going to try and tap it straight down for Marky Dudar. Oh, what a great save there by Siki, but it's not over just yet. Greasy Meister pushes it straight over to Marky Dudar, and we were saying this earlier on, we didn't quite get to finish it before that first goal came in. Flipside Tactics do not necessarily look for traditional passes. They just slam the ball into each other, and that's how they work it.
I mean, what kind of team can rely more on their incredibly accurate passes than their incredibly accurate shots? Flipside Tactics always catch teams off guard.
Farah just pushes that straight over to Greasy, who is up high. But Flipside Tactics needs to be careful of boost management. They cannot get caught in their own half. That double commit will allow Greasy Meister to start moving through. Puts that above Snaski, who has to push it up high. He's managed to do somewhat decent with it, but Kuxic comes in, and he's going to have to thank Siki later on for getting in the way. Farah, he's got teammates to go for, but we've seen him do it this before. Against Flipside Tactics, gets challenged by Greasy. But Leftovers starting to find their footing, starting to find their positioning, starting to find their rotation, and they are getting faster and faster as this game goes.
It may be a little bit too late. 8 shots for Flipside Tactics and only a lone shot for the Leftovers from Snaski in his goal. Will they be able to pick up the pace? It seems that Flipside are waking up.
It's going to be straight into the middle, and there is another rundown block by Greasy, not wanting to predict what's going to come towards him. You do not want to do that against the Leftovers. Snaski pushes that up high. Greasy with yet another challenge. He's turned into one of the best players in the world at those tackles. Up there with players just like Fireburner, who we will be seeing play later on when NRG take on Mocket Esports. Naki, he's got to try and deal with this. Snaski, lovely block from him, pushes it straight towards the middle, but Greasy has it covered. Just back on the rotation. Siki shot towards target. Cooks, long save from him. Is going to mean that his team is safe for the time being. As Marky and the rest of his team just don't seem ready, as the Leftovers are now pushing up and challenging everything in that midfield area. Greasy looking for Cooks, who will flick that just over the top, but Snaski is there just in time. Cooks can actually continue playing it, pushes it off that sidewall. Snaski's got to get there before Greasy, and he has done so, shuts the door.
Leftovers need to be careful. The moment they get it clear, they seem to be clearing it out to no one, but here, an opportunity. But Cooks here will meet Snaski at midfield.
Farah comes barreling through, and he's managed to beat Marky to it, but no one ready for the shot. Leftovers still down by 1 goal. Siki just wants a demo, but he couldn't find anybody. And that ball is going to go all the way back to the Leftovers half. More time ticking away on that clock, where they need to find a goal, or they will go 2 games down in this lower bracket series. As Greasy's got time, looks to push that forward, but he just got no one to aim for. Pretty much just turns into a time waster, if anything. Siki has to move forward. He's managed to get over the top from Greasy, and a whiff from Greasy Meister allows Siki to come in.
A beautiful trap, locking it down on the ground, tying it up with only 20 seconds left. Greasy thought he had a better touch, couldn't clear it out, and Marky already trying to predict Greasy's touch, which makes sense. You probably wouldn't expect Greasy Meister to miss.
We've seen that twice now from Flipside Tactics, where they expect themselves to win pretty much every single tackle, so they move people forward, predicting what happens when that does work out. The only problem is, if it really goes wrong, there is going to be no one around to save them. As Cooks gets that up high, but there's going to be no follow-up. We are tied up yet again, possibly going into our second overtime, but Farah has only got Cooks here to beat, puts it up high, but Siki couldn't get himself an extra touch. Cooks had plenty of boost, and he's just going to put that straight down to the mid part of the field. Game 2, overtime again.
I would love to know the true statistics of how both of these teams do in overtime. Who wins more of them? I honestly couldn't tell.
I mean, it's the 2 most clutch teams ever. This is exactly what we want to see from both of them. Let's put you in the most clutch situations possible and see who can outdo the other. Lovely tackle there by Marky, using the forward flip to get extra power and to defeat the oncoming challenger. That's going to go too far to the left of the Leftovers goal. As Marky leaves it for Cooks. Flick up high, he's taking his time, wants to bait Farah out, does do so, but Farah, early jump from him. It's going to mean that he can get the block. And pretty much in a deja vu moment, Marky tries to do the exact same thing and gets the exact same result.
Leftovers left that for an uncomfortable amount of time, but a demolition will take Farah out. Now it's left to just Sicky and Snasky to defend this.
And the Leftovers need to find their rotations back yet again. Farah's going to be on at least low boost for a time being. He's got to get himself up high. It's going to be still dangerous, but no immediate response by Flipside. They seem to be respecting the Leftovers' ability to counterattack, but they are still halfway to the goal. They need to keep it in the orange side, but they cannot afford to over-rotate. So many things that you have to keep control of in your mind when you are playing high-level Rocket League.
And Flipside, you can tell, are trying to overwhelm. They have 14 shots on goal compared to Leftovers only 4. But that means they need to try and make a bit more of their opportunities, while Leftovers seem to be scoring on most of their attacks.
And you can see Flipside Tactics have to play the ball on the floor, but now Farah can move himself forward. He's beat Greasy Meister. Tied up here. The Leftovers take the win.
1-1, the Leftovers, when it seemed like they had nothing left in them, will come back, win it in overtime. Farah with the shot.
Sicky was huge there, beating out the oncoming challenge, plays it off that side wall, and we have got ourselves a real series.
We really do. Shogun, I don't know what to think about Flipside right now. They have so many shots, but why aren't they going on target?
It's not necessarily they're not going on target right now. It's a case of the first shot is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Pull out a defender, put the ball up high, bait them to go up. They are doing that perfectly. The only problem is there is no follow-up whatsoever. They are putting themselves in the perfect situation to get a goal, and they're just not going for it.
It seems they're a bit too timid to take that risk to make sure that they go all the way through with their attack. It's a risk you're always going to make, though. Whenever you're on offense, you need to dedicate a bit more than you're comfortable with, especially against teams like the Leftovers who know how to stack the net and know how to stay alive and just keep their breath until the very last second.
Should we get in contact with Yummy? I heard he knows how to take the risk.
Don't do this to me.
I won't.
By the way, nice suit. It's good.
Thank you. Yours looks pretty good as well.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. But well, that was one of the things that you just don't know how to follow up on. But the Leftovers taking the win there. Very minimal shots compared to the huge amount that the Flipside Tactics came through with. But a win is a win nonetheless. And yeah, as we said earlier on, the Leftovers seem to be playing their game very well right now. Sicky is having a phenomenal series.
Everyone in favor of Flipside Tactics on the desk, but it seems that if the Leftovers can wake up, we know they're capable of beating any team on any given day. They've proved it in league play. They have definitely been slow going into the LAN, but if we can see Sicky and Snasky start to wake up, it'll be nasty.
As we are going to go into what is now effectively a best of 3 by these 2 European teams. We play over top. Snasky actually his opportunity. Sicky, though, controls the ball off the wall and goes for an extra flick.
In only 14 seconds, trying to get him back. Sicky touches it down. Farah bails. I like the thought process on that. He knew Sicky had control and could correct himself. So instead, he tries to support him by dropping back, but it doesn't matter. Sicky's too good. He puts it in.
Great landing right there, and that's going to put the Leftovers in an early lead. As there's Snasky just predicting the ball off the wall. It's going to force Marky to play it all the way back. The Leftovers pushing themselves forward more and more. Seems like Sicky not even really playing that holding role anymore, just pushing himself forward, almost like they just want to take on Flipside and not allow them any space to get those creative passes going. That is probably a smart decision, and that's going to be a lovely block goal there from Farah, predicting the attempted clearance.
What is happening? Our Flipside falling apart. Only one shot for them and no saves. Everything going through. Cooks here, missing it off the back wall. Marky Duda slow to get to the save. Farah capitalizes. Under a minute, already 2 goals for the Leftovers.
This is becoming big right here. The Leftovers, if they can pick up yet another one, might be able to seal this up very quickly. But Flipside Tactics will want an early response. It's Marky pushing it up high. He's got players to aim for, but Snasky is there first. As Cook's just trying to find someone, but Marky didn't want to half rotate, and Greasy just didn't want to commit too hard to it. It's going to be the ball off that sidewall. Greasy, yet another clearance. We can see right here from Cooks there exactly what he's trying to do, is he's just going to try and wait for this. That's the reason why he's holding himself in the middle, because it is the most rotation heavy possible. You can react to pretty much anything that your opponents try to do. It's going to be Ferrer. He's now actually pushed his team through, and Greasy's going to get himself back yet again. Those holes, though, keep being exploited by the leftovers. And this game is slowing down yet again, which will also favor the leftovers.
A lot of passes from Flipside, but they don't seem to be at each other like we saw in the game that they had won over the leftovers. They're passing it towards the middle, but it's really empty field play. Right now, Ferrer, maybe a dribble opportunity against Greasy. Almost gets him.
Snaski's going to keep the pressure going, though. It's going to come off that awkward angle from the roof, as Siki is unable to read it, and Cooks with a long clearance straight onto the other end. That's going to be Greasy's to actually latch onto. He's pulled out Ferrer, but who manages to predict that wall bounce. And the leftovers hold on to their 2-goal lead. Ferrer comes charging down with the block. Snaski's got that on target, and there's going to need Marky Dudar there with the save, avoiding that 3-goal deficit.
There it is. Marky Dudar finding Cooks here.
There's Marky off the backboard yet again. Cooks just off that sidewall. They want to keep it in this final third, but they're not quite sure how to get the goal. As Greasy takes out Siki, going to allow Marky Dudar time to put it into the air, but there is not going to be enough boost on him, so he cannot follow it with an air dribble. As Ferris find Marky on that side. Snaski just in the right position yet again, Spider-Manning himself onto the low part of the goal. And the leftovers, all 3 of them back. No one wants to commit to this. Cooks gets it down. Greasy can try and follow it up. Snaski, though, misses it, and so does Greasy. The leftovers hold on to their 2-goal lead.
They're doing well. Only 2 minutes left, and Flipside seem to be sending 1, maybe 2 up at best. But since leftovers are sacking 3 in the net and they have the lead, we need to see more commitment from Flipside Tactics.
Ferris actually managed to find Snaski. Oh! Cutting pass, cuts Flipside Tactics defense wide open.
The leftovers' accuracy has been phenomenal this series. 5 shots and 3 of them will find the back of the net. Cooks here and Greasy Meister left stuck in front of it, not able to reach it in time. Great passing play.
Now Flipside Tactics have to start getting worried. If they go on to lose this game, they are going to be 1 more loss away from being knocked out of this tournament. The first time ever that they will not have reached the grand finals. Snaski is going to put that up high. Has he got the boost to try and go for the follow-up? He's going to go for it. Pushes it straight down. Now it's going to allow Siki to come straight back in with another touch, but he's not going to be able to read the ball well enough. 3-0 is still the scoreline, though, and we have just got 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. Siki with the miss. Snaski, though, has to come in and cover him. Marky just getting that off the side, but once again, because the leftovers have left someone in goal, they are not able to immediately respond. Instead, it is always being cleared away by one of the leftovers players. As Greasy gets it over, but once again, Snaski holding himself on that goal line and just launching himself out. And it puts it straight back into the blue end. That is more time being wasted. As Flipside Tactics still desperate for 1 goal that might be able to open up the floodgates for them to get back in. That's going to be a complete miss. That is an open goal, and Siki makes it 4. Oh boy, Hiccup, it is starting to feel more and more possible with every single second gone.
Seeing both of these clutch teams bring it to the last second. The leftovers up 31 seconds away from being up in the series, being 1 game away from taking out the reigning world champions.
Ferrer is going to kneel to deal with this, but right now this game is completely over. And just like last time, leftovers are doing exactly the right things to take out their opponents. They did it yesterday against both the OCE teams. It just seems like they study at the very last moment and get themselves a passing grade. Nothing more, but they always do just enough.
And they're spreading out so well. Their passes are phenomenal, their rotations are phenomenal. Always somebody there, always somebody in net, and they're clearing it hard as well. The leftovers now up in the series, 2 games to 1. Leftovers are the OCE Slayers. Will they also be the Champion Slayers?
I mean, OCE Slayers, King Slayers, which one would you want to go for?
Both.
Both. Exactly, and that's exactly...
¿Por qué no los dos?
I don't know what any of that means.
Oh yeah, I forgot you. Yeah.
I'm very English, okay? We have one culture over there, and it's English.
Yeah. Weird English, too.
It's weird English. I can not pronounce T's, apparently. But the leftovers find themselves 4 goals better off in that series. They're looking very strong here. No responses from Flipside Tactics. And the leftovers, I mean, the only thing that prevents them from doing the reverse sweep or any sort of sweep here, was an own goal in game 1. They effectively beat themselves in that game.
Yeah. And Flipside Tactics, this is now the second time at LAN. They are looking down the barrel. They almost lost to Selfless and they were able to pull it out. Can they do it again? You heard Marky Duda, he tries to be a good captain for his team. He wants to make sure that he keeps them pumped up, keeps them riled up. I imagine we'll see them screaming right now. They're getting pretty serious, but the leftovers have to be feeling great. Look at that smile on Snasky's face.
Yeah, and that's when you know leftovers are starting to feel it, because Snasky has not necessarily been his jovial self on stage as of late, because he doesn't feel like his team is performing up to the level that he knows that they can. If Snasky is smiling right there, it means that something is going very right for that team. So, Flipside Tactics, can they do what we've known them to do for the last 2 seasons and clutch it out yet again? Siki puts that immediately towards the net, but Marky can read the ball off the wall. They need 2 wins in a row now, or they will be eliminated from the tournament. Oh, Marky, that is not a great start.
No. 1 own goal apiece now, leftovers and Flipside.
I think there's no other time I can say this. Marky, that was a crap shot.
There it is. He's lived up to it.
But the leftovers take that early lead 18 seconds into this game, and that is not going to raise morale at all for Flipside Tactics. Those are long booming shots straight towards Farah. Breezy can put this somewhere dangerous off that backboard. Cooks there, just wants to keep it away from Siki, who is rotating it in to try and get it away. Farah will now be able to. You can see Marky on that sidewall predicting the play. They want to keep this in the leftovers half, and this is exactly why, because Breezy can put it straight down. And Siki comes in, the angel of defense, saving his team.
Able to come down from the backboard on top of the crossbar. He saves it and keeps his team in the lead, but how long will it last? Marky to the corner.
Siki didn't even need to go for that one, but he does anyway. Having a phenomenal series. Look at him yet again. He does not want anything. Shots, rebounds, you name it. Siki will not allow it to happen. As he's going to follow this up yet again. He has to beat Greasy, but Greasy low on boost. Not able to get there. Cooks now with his opportunity. This time Farah will be the player to clear it away, but only as far as Flipside Tactics' next rotating player. And Marky is going to leave that for Cooks here, who was looking for Greasy, but leftovers doing a great job of anticipating where these passes are going to go and intercepting them before anyone can get any sort of contact. And it's pretty much Flipside's bread and butter being taken away from them. Ball up high. This is going to require Snasky to get it into the corner. That's going to allow Greasy, though, takes a shot. There's going to be a weak one, as Farah can also find Snasky. No real danger for the Flipside Tech Club, for the leftovers defense. Greasy pushing it to the corner yet again. 1 goal, still the difference here, but it is a lead that could lead to Flipside Tactics being removed from the tournament, and that's going to be even closer. Siki carries it from the midfield.
Can the leftovers do the unthinkable? The last time these 2 teams met, the leftovers did beat Flipside.
He gets hit halfway through the shot and still able to generate enough power. The leftovers are on course. Cooks here. He's got some options downfield to aim for. He's going to try and take it himself. Let's just pass straight back over to the leftovers. And you can see exactly what leftover strategy is right here. Do not allow it in their own half. They could not care less about the follow-up. Do not leave anyone at the halfway line. Just hold on for your tournament lives, and you can knock out Flipside Tactics. Marky going to try and take it. He's going to keep going, but that challenge from Snasky. He's actually going to push that over to Farah. Greasy Meister avoids that 3-0 lead, and Cooks can now take control. 2 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. They need a response, and they need it quickly. Greasy can't get there in time. Once again, interceptions coming through by the leftovers, and there is a long shot that's not going to be on target. Cooks can deal with it. But once again, oh, big demo there by Snasky means that Greasy can't immediately put this back into their half. Now Farah, off that backboard, is going to go off that awkward angle from the roof. Shot on target, but Greasy is there just on time.
Oh, so close. Leftovers want to make sure they do not overcommit. They have the lead. Don't give Flipside any goals, because at 0 seconds is when they perform their strongest.
Yep, they came back against Selfless earlier on in the tournament. Cooks it, just wants to go for a miracle block. 2 of them committed to that. Siki misses the ball, but Marky has to waste time as well. He needs his teammates back. Greasy is just starting to get there now. Farah pushes through, shot on target, and that could be it.
3 goals up. Flipside Tactics are facing defeat right now. Will they get knocked out? Farah outpacing Greasy Meister. It just seems that Flipside Tactics cannot find their groove, and the leftovers, while they might be scrappy, they're looking clean as ever right now.
Farah, El Destructor himself, coming through and has put his team up by 3 goals.
I thought you didn't know Spanish.
I learned a little bit. It's called Google Translate. That's good. Rakijura is actually going to hand his team a lifeline.
If there's any team that can do it in a minute 20, it's definitely Flipside Tactics. That pass from Greasy Meister, phenomenal. Giving it to Marky Duda. That is what we haven't seen out of them so far this series. 2 goals to make. Will Flipside do it?
Leftovers, 2 players on their team, never played at a LAN environment before, and they are on the verge of putting out the Flipside Tactics, but they need Siki to stay high on comms and just keep them calm. They cannot afford to make silly mistakes. As Cooks gets it over to Greasy. Ball pushed up high. Marky just wants to keep the pressure going. It's going to go off that side wall. Greasy, he just wants to find Cooks in, but a rolling ball off the backboard is not going to help them. 55 seconds remaining. Shot goes towards it, but Snasky is there with the block. Flipside Tactics will not go away. They will fight till their very last breath. You can believe that. And there we are, Cooks here. Puts it straight over, but Snasky's got that backboard yet again. It seems like the leftovers are undeterred by the situation they find themselves in. Farah, long pass straight over into the corner. There is the shot from Siki. Great save there by Cooks. Keeps his team in. Here's Snasky, puts on target, and he's found the net.
3 goals up with only 30 seconds. Have leftovers done the unthinkable? Will they knock out a reigning world champions?
You can see barely any celebration from them right there. They are keeping their heads in the game. The leftovers, they beat Flipside Tactics back in week 1, and they could be about to repeat that feat. Cooks is going to have one of his team's last chances. They have to score something right now. 3 goals is near an insurmountable lead, but they need to do something. Farah puts that just off to the side, but Greasy Meister and Marky Duda have their opportunity to go for the counterattack. Marky tries to go square go, and there is Cooks here. Just missing the ball, 8 seconds remaining. The leftovers, the team that came from nowhere. Nobody wanted them, but they are going to take out the world champions.
From OCE Slayers to King Slayers, the leftovers have done it once again. Look at Farah, out of his mind. They're so excited. This one feels so great for them. A team that couldn't find a solid roster. They managed to show up in league play and do it yet again here in LAN. They had a slow start. I was worried about them, but they took out both OCE teams in lower bracket, and now Flipside Tactics, our reigning world champions, are done.
We are guaranteed new champs. And now the leftovers are going to go on to take on Northern Gaming, and that match is going to be up next.
I cannot believe it. The leftovers felt so clean. They were always in position. I don't think I saw a single double commitment that entire series, which is difficult, especially when going against a team like Flipside, but they just seemed slower than usual. They seemed to hesitate more. They weren't putting on that relentless pressure that they're known for, and leftovers just took advantage.
Shout outs to Siki in that series, positioning on point all the time. I barely saw him make a slip up. I've been told by all the players around the world that Siki is the most underrated player. He is, and now he isn't.
I mean, he did what it takes. They have now put an imprint on the world. The leftovers are here to stay.
Well, let's get a word from our winners. Snasky is going to be interviewed by Awesome Joey. Over to you.
Give it up for these guys. Well, is that how it was supposed to go?
Yes. Oh, well, no, we were supposed to lose one more game, but I mean, I'll take it.
Well, there you go then. Better than your own expectations. All right, man, we were discussing up there, your personality started coming out, especially when you scored your goal, where you somehow navigated through the air and managed to get another touch over to put that in. After that point, you had a big smile on your face. It just seemed like a complete turning point. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was pretty good after that own goal. It was kind of a sad moment, but yeah, it was pretty nice to score such a nice goal in front of this crowd and try that.
You could clearly see you guys were winning over the fans immediately. But now, I want to give everybody credit. Obviously, Siki was out of his mind. The save from above, out of nowhere, and then Farah playing a very positionally strong game for you guys. So just talk about your teammates for a sec.
My team has played amazing. I think we all really stepped up. Like, we have been slowly building up throughout these past days. So it's great to see that it's all coming together now when it really matters. And I hope we can keep it up in our next game.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
We gotta get back to the job, bro.
Do it now. Send it back over to the desk with the Axel toss.
Oh my God, that's amazing. What an amazing performance there from the Leftovers. We didn't expect it. I don't know how many of y'all expected it, but
there it went.
goes. No warning. Who got it?
Not ready for that.
I think it's still on the ground somewhere. Maybe not.
See if they find it.
The Leftovers. I can't even believe it. Going all the way down in the lower bracket very early on, losing to Rogue, taking out the OCE region, and then matching up against Flipside Tactics extremely well. What went so right there for the Leftovers?
Defense, defense, defense. They had 3 shutouts against Alpha Sydney, and before that they were giving up 3 goals per game, and they shut down Flipside Tactics.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable that they managed to pull this out. They were outshot 35-24 in favor of Flipside, but somehow they more than doubled Flipside's goals, outscoring Flipside 12-5. So Leftovers, they were surgical on their shot, shooting 50% as a team, 50% shooting percentage. That is something that we never see.
Well, the crazy thing to me is the first 2 games were extremely close, going to overtime, but as soon as that overtime happened, there was something different about this Leftover team. To completely stop them, 10 unanswered goals for this team, that is unbelievable. Not only just in general, but against Flipside Tactics, are you kidding me?
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing play from the Leftovers. Honestly, in the beginning, their game 1 Cooks here with overtime goal. We're like, all right, well, there's Cooks here, there's Flipside. But Leftovers bringing it back and taking home the series. Let's take a look at the highlights of that one in the form of the Mobile 1 high performance replay.
And this could have been a 3-0 sweep, except for Snaxy's amazing goal. He scored 4 goals on 4 shots and an own goal, so he was just all over the field. And Siki and Snaxy's defense was impeccable, perfect, and then Siki was on the offense a lot too, which I love to see.
And he had a few solo goals all by himself, putting some in the back of the net, and then Pharaoh with that overtime winning goal. That was such a big goal. That could have been such a different story had the Leftovers not won that second overtime game.
The big difference for me too, that defense you were talking about, their midfield play for those 50-50s up in the air once and again, but then shots like that, just be able to misdirect or put them wherever they need to. Even though a little bit of help here from
Markey.
Yeah.
But really, the Leftovers, they finished league play 2nd place. They finished in the EU Championship 3rd place. They lost to Flipside getting here today. And so to have them come in on the biggest stage possible against the defending world champions, being heavily unfavored, to stay true with the belief in themselves and manage to get this win 3-1 over Flipside, you really just have to take your hats off to them.
That's the story,
they
isn't
came
it,
through.
The entire season, that's been their story. Nobody wanted them to get everybody picked up, and then just after one another, like, to go through that many reverse sweeps is just unbelievable. Like, that shouldn't happen. And then they're going to reverse sweep this entire land. I'm calling it right now.
And plus, finally, no one picked them to win a game up here, which is why they won. So, Snatsky, you can thank us.
I guess we'll see what happens when we predict the Northern Gaming matchup, which is next. And the storyline from the Leftovers is just remarkable. What an amazing display of Rocket League skill this weekend. Going down lower bracket, and now they have won 3 series in a row, and now they're going to face off against Northern Gaming. You remember week 1 in this season, guys? Who did they beat? Flipside Tactics and Northern Gaming. So we'll have to see if the trend can continue. We're going to take a short break from the Rocket League World Championships. When we come back, the Leftovers return to the pitch, this time going up against Northern Gaming as the championships continue. Stay tuned.
Dear Journal, today I learned many great things. 1. Old Spice Sweat Defense gives me 48-hour sweat protection. 2. Gorillas have strong muscles and do not speak English.
Hey Gibbs, what's up?
What's going on, James?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I have a dilemma. I think I'm going to switch off the hard hat.
Well, what are you going to pick?
Well, the pros don't really use toppers. Then you have to go with certifications. Maybe go with certified turtle, possibly. And then, of course, got to stay with the candy corn boost because that's the most important.
Well, that's cool, but I'm going to pop out to 7-Eleven, so I'll see you later.
And rock the Dominus? Seriously, James?
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
1,000 years we've kept it hidden. The secret history of Transformers on Earth.
You push them, and they push right back. Let's go!
I want to stay, and I want to fight them.
It's now or never.
Transformers: The Last Night, a Michael Bay film.
You look confused.
I just don't get it. So the new Brisk is watermelon and lemonade?
What don't you get?
Is it watermelon flavored lemonade or lemonade flavored watermelon?
Let me show you, James. The Merc is a bold watermelon flavor, and the Scarab is a blast of lemonade flavor. Does that make sense? I guess it didn't matter, James, huh?
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
To be free.
Season 3. We are down to 4 teams remaining as we get closer and closer to crowning our world champion for this season. Match the toss back here on the desk. Gibbs, James Bond, final carpet. What a nice weekend. What a nice day. But the big story right now is that match we just saw, the leftovers, coming all the way through the lower bracket. They now have 3 match wins in a row and taking out the defending world champions.
And who could have said that the worst European team here would be the reigning world champions, Flipside Tactics?
Yeah, it really comes down to the leftovers all season long have just been unpredictable, really unpredictable. And so for them to take out, you see the leftovers side right behind me, coming in, taking out the world championships, they defied everyone's expectations.
I mean, the biggest thing is they were clean, and Flipside wasn't. They had a couple of mistakes. Cookser wasn't performing. Again, we saw that earlier in the season. I don't know where these hiccups came from. We hadn't seen that from him really ever before. Usually he was just quiet, but a lot of big mistakes, and leftovers were just clean. They were making no mistakes. I mean, you heard it from Shogun. Siki, a lot of the pro players say he's super underrated, potentially one of the best players in the world, and I think he's proving it right now.
They might be getting into a groove. We'll have to look out for that, but let's take a look at the bracket one more time here, get everyone caught up. Double elimination, best of 5s until the upper finals, which will be a best of 7. That will be the next match you will see on stream after this upcoming Leftovers versus Northern Gaming. Mocket Esports and NRG awaiting there. Meanwhile, the lower bracket is where we've been focusing on so far. We see the Leftovers making it through Jam Gaming, Alpha Sydney, Flipside Tactics. Now they're going to be playing up against Northern Gaming.
We have 4 series left, and this is the last best of 5. After this, it is all best of 7. And again, 2 European teams going at it here to try and get into that 3rd place game and eventually maybe a grand finals.
Yeah, Northern Gaming, they finished 3rd place in both the Season 1 and Season 2 World Championship. Now they're going to have to go up against the leftovers to even have a shot at finishing 3rd.
Yeah, what's really curious about both of these teams is they both have been ramping up slowly since LAN has started. A little weak early on, Northern Gaming with a substitute. Leftovers now finally seeming to come into their own. Who's going to come out on top?
Yeah, 3 teams from Three teams from Europe remaining, 1 team from North America remaining in the championships here. But again, let's focus on this match we have coming up here. Best of 5, the Leftovers still alive, going up against Northern Gaming. Let's start the conversation here with Northern Gaming coming in to this tournament with a sub, Turbo, but he's been doing pretty good for the team.
Pretty good. He's been playing amazing, carrying the team like Maestro used to do in Season 1 and Season 2 LANs. And honestly, that is the best performance I've seen at this LAN, is because Turbo is just really stepping up here.
Yeah, talking with the players backstage, they're saying when Turbo's playing 6-mans with them just off the clock, he's one of the most insane players. His team wins almost every single game. And now, with his real team, Northern Gaming, coming as a sub, he has been phenomenal, putting shots right on target, right where they need to be, giving Northern Gaming the edge and getting them to this matchup.
But I think without Remco and Devo, he wouldn't be able to do it. They're such good supporters. They're always there for him, and they let him use his skill.
Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the stage. Give it up for Northern Gaming!
And these boys have to be confident. A very clean series versus Rogue that a lot of people weren't expecting, because this crowd was 100% behind Rogue, but Northern Gaming doesn't care about that. And now, I can see it again that the crowd might be behind the Leftovers just taking out the world champions. So Northern Gaming playing that villain card, and it's working out for them.
And they really controlled Rogue. Rogue started off pretty decently, but then after shutting out Game 1, going into Game 2, there was a period of time where they just had all the members of Rogue back in their own net, starved from boost, just trying to fend off an onslaught of shots from Northern Gaming. Northern Gaming, like you said, Carpet, has just been ramping up all tournament, all weekend long, and now is the perfect time to keep that momentum going.
I mean, you heard it from Remco himself. This is the team he would have rather preferred to face over the game that just happened. He would have rather faced the Leftovers since they lack LAN experience compared to Flipside Tactics. But with the way they just performed, I mean, like you said.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know which to choose if I were him.
Well, let's take another look at the roster here from Northern Gaming, starting with Devo.
Devo, he is a star. He's so good in 1v1s and also in these team settings. Devo, look for him to make some insane aerial shots.
And you have here Remco. He might be losing, he might be missing his buddy Maestro, but he's still there. He's still a good rock for his team. He rarely ever makes mistakes. He's just so consistent.
And Turbo Pulsa, the #1 sub, I would say starter at this point.
Down, yeah.
He will be on a really good team, if not Northern Gaming next season, but he is carrying the load here. But the last series is when we saw Devo and Remco really wake up and help him out.
And Northern, they have just cemented themselves as a dynasty in Europe, getting back to this stage on the World Championship yet again.
They just want to push back. They've been third place. Can they get further? They're so close right now. They're going against their preferred team, but at the same time, Leftovers are looking really, really strong.
And this is probably the best time to play your best Rocket League. The Leftovers again with an amazing run right now through that lower bracket. Can that continue? This team taking out the OCE region, and we just saw that match again against Flipside Tactics, defending world champions. On that stage, you gotta imagine being in front of so many people, the pressure. What is your mindset like? The Leftovers, it's working out for them so far.
So far, they were really excited to beat Flipside. I think that might be my main concern, is maybe they expelled too much energy with the excitement of beating the world champions. But Northern Gaming, it was just clean and calm, so they should be ready for this match.
Even in Farah's interview, he was saying that he didn't feel like the best player. He didn't feel like a world champion. But they need that confidence going in against Northern Gaming. They are very deep into this tournament. They have a legitimate shot at making it to the grand final.
Everyone says the moment that Sicky pops off is a moment that everyone should be terrified.
And of course, we saw on day one, they didn't look all that great, but they're really warming up to this crowd.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can their run continue? Give it up for the Leftovers!
Snatch is gonna have to wait for that chopper for a few more games, hopefully for them. And they're ready to play. They were just sitting there 5 minutes ago, so they should be warmed up. Let's just hope their energy levels are still really high.
Yeah, but again, last game, they were clinical with their shooting 50%, getting 12 goals on 24 shots. Can you repeat a performance like that? Or will the Northern Gaming offense be too much for them?
I mean, when you saw how many shots Flipside was putting up, I mean, they had upwards of 10, more than one game. So many shots, but they weren't connecting. Leftovers, their rotations on defense have been so strong. They're just, like I said, they're clean. They're not messing up. They're not overcommitting. They trust each other, which I think is really big. They're not expecting each other to do too much or too little. They're kind of right in that middle ground. I know you're going to get this save, and I'm going to follow up from there. But whenever they get any kind of opportunity, their counterattacks were so strong. They had so many less shots than Flipside, but they still managed to keep the score margin in their favor.
We'll see if they can use this momentum to their advantage. A lot of times in Rocket League, you just want to keep playing. You want to keep playing, stay in the groove, and the Leftovers are in that position right now. Let's go player by player here with the roster from the Leftovers, starting with Farah.
And Farah, again, he had that overtime goal in the previous series, coming up big for the Leftovers, and was a key factor in all of their victories this weekend.
Sicky, everyone's been talking about it. A lot of pros that I've spoken to, especially behind the scenes, are terrified of this man. He's not always on point, but they say when he's on point, he is the biggest threat.
And Snatsky, the backboard defense in that last series was perfection. I expect more of the same here, but it's going to be a tough task against this Northern Gaming squad.
Absolutely. All these teams at this point are so evenly matched. We are seeing the best Rocket League teams and players in the world, without a doubt, right now. What a day 3 this has been in the Rocket League Championship Series World Championships. As, again, we get closer and closer to crowning our world champion. But we have some more stats to look at here from a couple players from these two teams. Got Remco and Sicky.
And both these players, they just played in that third place match like 3 weeks ago, where Turbo had to come out of nowhere with no practice, and Remco had to really try and carry the team. But on the other side, Sicky is that brick wall, and I expect more of the same here.
Yeah, but Remco, he said it himself, the Octane was the solution. Using the breakout earlier in this tournament, now that he's rocking the Octane, he's feeling good, and Northern Gaming is starting to surge.
We've seen lower bracket runs in World Championship environments before in the RLCS. The question is, can the Leftovers continue their run? And a lot of people would say upset Northern Gaming. Again, Northern Gaming coming in with that substitute with Turbo, but he looks like he's a part of the team at this point. But guys, predictions, what do you think?
Northern Gaming coming in here was a top 3 team. I thought with Flipside plus Energy. I'm giving this to Northern Gaming. Their game was so clean. The Leftovers, I think, might have just got too excited. It really comes down to this game 1. I feel like if game 1, the Leftovers can win, they can ride that momentum, but I think Northern Gaming will take the series.
Yeah, the Leftovers, they're an unpredictable team. Like, we saw them play Rogue and get demolished by Rogue. and then the 2 OCE series, and then flip side they managed to beat him. It's hard to predict, but I'm going to give it to Northern. I think that Northern really is just the better team on paper, and we won't see a repeat performance of what we saw last series with the Leftovers.
Yeah, I think Northern just has more consistency, and Turbo Pulsar right now, he's been doing so well. I want to give it to Northern as well, and talking to Johnny Boy a little bit just before that previous match, just before we watched Flipside go down, he was saying Northern Gaming was one of the few teams that Flipside was actually scared of, and I think that's something that really shouldn't be taken lightly. If in scrims they were doing that well, they haven't shown it fully. I think the last time we saw Northern Gaming was probably the closest we saw to their potential, but I think they've still got more to go, and the Leftovers should be worried.
Northern Gaming is an incredible team. We call them a dynasty time and time again, but this is the World Championships. Anything can happen. I got the Leftovers. They're coming down from the lower bracket. Can they make it through? They've got the crowd behind them, and we're about to find out what's going to happen here. A best of 5 to decide who's going to move on in the RLCS World Championships and who's going home. It's time to get into the next match. It's Northern Gaming versus the Leftovers. Let's go down to the commentary desk.
We have 4 teams left. 2 of them we're about to see. 1 of them is going home. Both these teams looking absolutely incredible today. I mean, as I just said, Leftovers coming off just a wave of feeling good. Like you saw the cameras, they're looking happy. They have nothing to lose at this point. Then we have that other dynasty on the other side, though. Today, they are looking hot.
Well, it's about that dynasty play here. We saw it in the first week of league play. This Leftovers team able to knock them both down. Can they do it again here? They had troubles doing that in the regional championships, but were able to squeak it out. So Leftovers technically have it over the top, but this is the LAN. I mean, it's totally different, man.
Yeah, well, we've seen Leftovers start a little bit slow earlier on in this. They talked about it themselves, and they've been working on it. And today, it just showed. I mean, they just took down the world champions from Season 2. That is a humongous feat. And now they're coming in to take Northern Gaming, who has been struggling to get past 3, that 3rd place spot, Season 1, Season 2, and this is their chance to prove that they can make it all the way. As we get down into game number 1, the Leftovers versus Northern Gaming, and an early attack from Northern Gaming as they try to get that first goal. We've seen really good play from the Leftovers, and they're showing early on, you cannot get that quick goal.
The Leftovers have been stacking that defense, showing absolute patience as Fair tries to move this down. He gets a 50-50 that plays over to Sicky. Sicky's gonna take his time, takes a shot inside, but Turbo goes for another one. Sicky over the top of Devo. Can he get it? It swings to the side.
He tries for that half flip to catch it and just bring it to the side. Thankfully for him, it didn't end up in the net. It was wide as it rolled past the net, and he was able to recover it. But that attack from the Leftovers is not over yet. As they try to put it on a Turbo, just sinking one into the top corner, grab that first goal.
Devo and Snasky having a 50-50, something Snasky was rarely losing last game, but this one works out in the favor of Northern Gaming as Turbo was able to get upside down and play that top left, a corner he has been favorable to all today.
There it is, the first goal early on. Game number 1, lots of time for the Leftovers to be able to pull this one back. The desk talked about being crucial to win game number 1. They are down a goal. Northern Gaming looking extremely well. Both these teams have warmed up and have played today earlier.
What?
But Remco just bodies that one through.
Something about Remco in this Octane not losing 50-50s. You saw him bully one through last series. He's going to do it again here to Farah as that second touch off the back of his car goes in.
That brick of an Octane. Farah feeling the full force of that one. Gets shoved into his own net. And 2-goal lead now in the first minute for Northern Gaming. The Leftovers have to answer quickly. Otherwise, they're going to see this Avalanche start to take over them. Northern Gaming trying to create another early attack here off this kickoff. There's another shot off the crossbar. Third not going to come in as Sicky does push that one away. 2 pushing up. Farah and Sicky will leave Snasky alone in their end. A touch keeps that one from Devo, but Devo trying to steal it back. Look at that, 2 touches in a row to keep that ball in the orange end. Turbo Pulsar flick chance, keeps that one low. Farah's gonna stop that one out. A demo will buy the Leftovers a little bit more time to move back down on offense, but they haven't had many opportunities.
Good job by the Leftovers as well. A quick transition upfield with 2 players getting involved as Devo goes for a fake. Doesn't matter as Farah's there to bring it back out.
Now Farah in the air dribble, usually easy to save. Turbo's gonna say, yep, it was, but Snasky's gonna catch that off the wall. Devo, we've seen this in a series before, is absolutely everywhere. Stops that one out, and now they head back down the other end. There's Remco to set this to Devo. He's watching, he's waiting. Sicky will send it to the side. Turbo likely boosts it up, keeps the pressure on, looks for a bump. He'll have to rotate out now. Northern Gaming doing an extremely good job of rotating on the offense, keeping the pressure on. There's always someone there to be in the face of leftovers, and they just can't seem to find that chance to break out. Farah's looking for it right now, but Remco just stops in the way. Look at them, just keeping that amount of pressure on at midfield. Leftovers is having so much trouble breaking out. This might be a chance, a flick on net. Remco saves that one away. Farah trying to keep the dream alive here. They've had very few chances. They may as well make the most of this one. Siki keeps that one low, no second touch. Remco off the backboard. Turbo Pulsa also off the backboard, sends that one to midfield. Devo with a missed flick there. We'll give the possession over to Siki. Snasky, Farah, three-man passing play. Doesn't get past the midfield though, as Turbo Pulsa interrupts that one. 2-goal lead still with 2 minutes left in game number 1. Leftovers still looking to answer those first 2 goals coming up from Northern Gaming.
Well, they talked about the pressure from Northern Gaming. Was it going to be too much for this team of Leftovers? And so far, even though they've done a pretty good job on defense, Northern Gaming has snuck 2 by, some through pure sheer will. As Snasky trying to put this back over the top, it's going to swing down as his third man there with Siki taking a shot, not able to find it.
Grabs a defender out, but wasn't enough. There were still 2 people left for Northern Gaming. The defense for Northern Gaming was strong. We saw that in their match earlier, and Rogue just couldn't get past it any chances they had. Leftovers are finding themselves in that exact same situation. Northern Gaming is playing their game. They're not playing to their opponents. They're playing what they know they can do, and it's working right now.
Well, Leftovers is doing a good job on offense. Even though they know they're down by 2, they're doing a fantastic job of slowing down the pace. You saw Siki there bait out a jump and then went for an aerial. Fortunately for him, Northern Gaming is doing a really good job of putting more than one back on defense, just making sure that they have the opportunity as a shot. Trying to come in through, Remco gets a touch, but it's going to be a slow roller, easily saved by Snasky.
Yeah, Snasky can keep that one out easy as he rolls that over to Farah. Farah will try to create an opportunity out of this, but he puts the ball out of his own reach, unfortunately. And now with 1 minute remaining, Northern Gaming still holds that lead. The Leftovers being shut out have yet to answer a single goal from Northern Gaming in game number 1. It is a best of 5. They have every chance to bring this back, but Northern Gaming is looking solid on the pitch. Farah gonna grab that first one with 49 seconds left. This might be the comeback.
Farah said he likes to shoot. Remco having to do a last-ditch effort as he backflips and plays up to a teammate already waiting for this Leftovers team. Easily put back inside, and then Farah with the booty drag.
The booty slide.
As a celebration, you saw him pop off last game. He's excited to do it again here.
50 seconds left now for the Leftovers to be able to pull this one back to a tie game. Northern Gaming has to be careful. Leftovers have every opportunity. These guys are talented players that made it this far to be able to bring this one back. Siki and Snasky waiting that midfield as Farah goes up for an attack. Devo will clear that to Turbo. There's Snasky with the attack. Off the wall, waiting for Remco's touch. He gets it, but it won't be enough power to roll up for either of his teammates to take any kind of shot. The pressure starting to amount for Leftovers as Northern Gaming is starting to feel that pressure. 20 seconds left. A shot though from Turbo Pulsa. They need one opportunity to break out of their own end, and they result in a goal.
This setup from Devo was absolutely perfect. Playing it horizontally to the wall so it plays right back out to a teammate that's approaching. As he comes through and takes a shot, Turbo Pulsa able to put yet another one on net.
And yeah, with 17 seconds left now, it's probably over for Leftovers. Northern Gaming looking to put this one in the books, but it's just game number 1. They have a whole series ahead of them, and they cannot let that get into their own heads. It's do or die at this point, which is a lot of pressure, but they've been looking good. The confidence is key. We've seen it from a few teams where just being able to stay in the proper mindset and say, we're still in this, is so critical.
Well, it looks like Northern Gaming's trying to break that composure as they put another one in here at the end. With Remco, another good touch and trap. Nothing that this Leftovers team can do, but a lot of it does come down to those last couple seconds. They're down, they have to send that entire offense, try to sneak one through, and because that defense is lacking. But as this clock is about to drop, game 1 going over to Northern Gaming in just a second as they almost sneak one back in.
Ball drops down, Northern Gaming just feeling themselves with that last second goal there, just saying, you know what, we got this. Leftovers have to make some changes though. They got caught in their own end a little bit more than I think they wanted to. When they had a chance to break out, they didn't utilize it a lot. I saw Farah just giving the ball away. I mean, he had a couple of chances off the wall. He's got to look out for his teammates, though. He can't just say, okay, Northern Gaming, here's the ball, because they're just going to turn it right back around. And when we saw that, the second that Turbo had a chance for a counterattack, he scored. And the Leftovers can't give NG those kind of opportunities.
No, they're going to punish you for it, but Leftovers have a couple bits of excellence that they're doing. The things that they're doing well is their pace. The ability to go very slow on defense, slow it down, move it up as a unit, but then transition if they notice, okay, we're all out, communication has been good, bring that downfield immediately so we can get boosted back up and back on defense for another attack. So They are handling it pretty well. It's just Northern Gaming's offense is a little bit different than what they saw from Flipside.
Well, we saw it against Rogue. I mean, Northern Gaming, they ended up boost starving. I think Shogun counted. It was like 57 seconds.
It was just shy of a minute. They were underneath 45 boosts.
That pressure is absolutely insane. And now, again, as we said, the leftovers are starting to feel that pressure. And they have to find a way to break out. They got to say, how do we keep ourselves boosted up? And even if we don't have boost, what's our plan to be able to break out? What can we do even if they hold that in that situation? Leftovers have to think about that coming into game number 2.
Well, that's the beauty of these guys being the best in the world, is there's no one better at doing just that, especially the adversity that Leftovers has faced time and time again. But we're going into game number 2 in this elimination match. Anybody's game still, but NG is still on top.
Yeah, they just grabbed the first point. They're against the Leftovers in an elimination match. As the Leftovers almost let in a first goal there. Northern Gaming tried to grab the early lead. Sicky will save it, and there he is again. 2 saves on the net, and I'm pretty sure he's just been the savior for their team so far in net and on defense. Fair and Snasky, though, are going to have to start creating that spark on offense and get some scoring opportunities themselves. 30 seconds in, no goals yet, but I mean, Northern Gaming is just putting the pressure on. This is that boost starvation and that pressure I was talking about in that break there.
Well, you're already talking 5 shots in less than 30 seconds from Northern Gaming. That is unbelievable, one after another. They're lucky that so far the accuracy hasn't been there just yet, but they're finally able to break it out of their own half as they try to get a demo here from Snasky, just missing short, but in a dangerous position. No problem for Remco as this is played back in from Sicky. Devo trying to dribble this out.
Snasky, though, are going to have to start creating that spark on offense and get some scoring opportunities themselves. 30 seconds in, no goals yet, but I mean, Northern Gaming is just putting the pressure on. This is that boost starvation and that pressure I was talking about in that break there.
Well, you're already talking 5 shots in less than 30 seconds from Northern Gaming. That is unbelievable, one after another. They're lucky that so far the accuracy hasn't been there just yet, but they're finally able to break it out of their own half as they try to get a demo here from Snasky, just missing short, but in a dangerous position. No problem for Remco as this is played back in from Sicky. Devo trying to dribble this out. It's going to settle and play it off the wall right past Snasky. Here's a chance for Northern Gaming.
5 shots in 30 seconds. I want to find out if that's a record. That has to be. That's absolutely insane pressure off the bat. And the Leftovers are starting to deal with it a little bit. I mean, they find themselves on the attack, but there's not really the best scoring opportunities.
Well, that's one of the best things about the Leftovers is even though all this pressure comes, they always find a way to make those saves.
There it is, a minute and 20 in, still scoreless. They did manage to hold off from that onslaught from Northern Gaming, the Leftovers did, and find a couple close chances of their own. Not the same kind of pressure we're seeing from Northern Gaming right now. Leftovers try to break out. Farah rushing in, noticing Sicky was out of the play. Bumps Remco. He tries to go up for a pass from Turbo. He gets it, but not enough power. Turbo tries to finish it off. Devo getting a little bit close there. Thought maybe there was an opportunity to score. Solo play trying to come out, but Remco and Turbo will back off, knowing there was a chance for a clear from the Leftovers, sorry. They are still stuck in their own end. That's the chance. Roof pinch will send that far. Snasky needs to get onto this one. He doesn't get there in time, and Devo will send that back. Turbo up quickly. The speed coming out from Northern Gaming. A ball almost ending up in their own net. Just barely a save from the defensive Leftovers, keeping themselves alive.
Even though Farah's the shooter doing a fantastic job filling in on defense, able to make that clutch save as this ball hovers back in the middle. Seeing Devo up, playing that in the middle. But Sicky positioning spot on as always as he makes another save, but the pressure, Turbo, these guys filling in the roles very well.
Snasky wasn't out there, he gets a little bit of position. The teammate Farah was demoed theirs. Turbo makes his way out. Remco tries to get a shot off. A team bump there from Northern Gaming. Could be a chance for a scoring opportunity now from Leftovers. Farah needs to get this to a teammate, but Devo is going to spawn in time and get back there. We did see both of his teammates commit too much, not recognizing that demo came out. That was the chance that the Leftovers needed, and they weren't able to punish. And that's going to probably cost them, because now Northern Gaming is going to have a full team to try to create another attack.
Turbo needs to be careful as he doubles back there, but one-on-one situation with Remco. Luckily for Farah, it is not touched the way he's looking. As this ball settles back down. Sicky with a shot, fair there, but Turbo yet again in the way.
They're looking to create these chances. They're starting to create these passes to each other, the Leftovers, but they're just not connecting. Farah just a little bit off in his positioning there, wasn't able to get in the way of that ball. Northern Gaming took possession back. They're trying to create these attacks. They're on the offense a bit now, and I like to see this, but a minute 40, still no goals. At least they're holding off Northern Gaming's attack.
No, it's exactly that. Being down 4-1 in that first match and then to come back and hold them off for that long is unbelievable. This match going the distance. It seems the adjustments have worked out as Northern Gaming has definitely been slowed down quite a bit here.
Sicky has definitely been that outwatcher for the defense of the Leftovers. Look at him always paying attention to that goal line, watching. Look at him just waiting patiently, but it
one in.
Wasn't enough. He didn't see what Devo was doing, and they're gonna grab that first goal. Minute 16, low scoring, but that could be the game.
Devo has been quiet, but today he's been spot on, making his name known here yet again. Beautiful placement, bottom right corner.
There it is, the only goal in this game so far. Northern Gaming did grab the first point in the series. It's a best of 5. If they can hold on to this lead, they are going to put themselves at match point yet again, looking for another sweep, and that's just not good for the Leftovers. This is an elimination. If Leftovers aren't able to pull this back, they're going home.
Not only that, but if you consider yourself, you're guaranteed a top 3 spot, that's another $16,000 coming your way as well.
Not too shabby at all. In the final minute remaining, Leftovers looking to make an answer. Snasky with the pop forward, Sicky waiting. Tries to get the touch. Devo's gonna send it to net. Farah trying to get in front of it. Maybe not enough boost, or able to get that speed. And there is an open net goal for Northern Gaming.
The crowd favorite not able to get back just in time. Sicky was in the right spot, flipping through, but unfortunately his rotation puts him on the other side of the ball, and that cut inside. Yet again, this team of Northern Gaming putting on pressure. Shots-wise, you look at this, it's settled down quite a bit. They're only hovering right around 8 right now, as we started with 5 right off the back.
In 30 seconds, absolutely insane. You're right, though. The Leftovers were able to hold them at bay,
Devo,
but not able to score any of them themselves. Still shut out in this game. No goals yet. Northern Gaming sitting up 2. With 30 seconds left, the Leftovers are trying to pull this one back, but it just might be too late on this, and they might have to look at their most famous thing that they do, a reverse sweep.
If that happens, my heart won't be able to take it. But the difference being in this game too, we saw against Flipside, Leftovers were doing the best defense, and we're not talking because they made a bunch of saves, but because of where they stopped the pressure altogether at the midfield. That's been the difference maker against Northern Gaming. Northern Gaming is applying that pressure, and they're having to make those saves on net, allowing someone to free up a goal, and then the shots just come in one after another.
Well, we saw the goal number 2 go in because the Leftovers were forced to start putting the pressure on themselves in that final minute of gameplay. And with 10 seconds left and 3 goals down, Northern Gaming is going to set themselves at match point in this best of 5 to pull themselves likely into a 3rd place spot unless the Leftovers can answer this absolute domination with pressure from Northern Gaming in the rest of the series.
Northern Gaming and Leftovers both in a familiar position. The last time it panned out, the Leftovers were just able to come out on top. But this is a totally different story. The momentum definitely in favor of Northern Gaming, but Leftovers, if we know anything about them, there is always a chance.
Oh yeah, always a chance. I mean, what do we start this whole entire league playoff with? Them reverse sweeping. And they just kept doing it over and over again. And if there's any time to do it, Leftovers, it's right absolutely now, because this is an elimination game. If they lose this one, they are donezo. They are out, and Northern Gaming is going to move up further in the bracket to find out who they play later on in the day.
There's only one solution, in my opinion, for this Leftovers team, and it is one name, Farah.
Farah.
He's got to do something here. He needs to step up. He's been having a quiet series so far, but that aggression that we saw from him previously just hasn't happened just yet. But there is still potential. He's been waiting all day to prove his name, and here's a chance for him to do
it. Could be. I mean, I've seen him get close to it a couple times. The only issue is, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't an issue the first time he tried to do it, but he's had a lot of defenders in his way, and it's just he's been stopped out. He needs the help from his teammates when he moves on offense. He needs that support there. He's ready. He's ready to move on.
Turtle's just chilling back, laying back. He's like, yeah, we got this, no problem.
Best sub ever, easy.
Yeah, I got this. No
wow,
problem.
They cannot count out the Leftovers at this point. As we get down into game number 3, what a match we have ahead. Can we see the Leftovers get a reverse sweep to keep themselves alive, or will Northern Gaming once again secure themselves a top 3 spot? The dynasty that is Northern Gaming. We're going to find out right now as we get underway in game number 3 in this best of 5. Leftovers facing elimination in Season 3 World Championships. They try to get an early attack. Look at that, Snasky connecting with a pass from Farah. Almost able to get an attack on, but that will end up back down in their own end. As you said, a beautiful clear coming from Northern Gaming. They just couldn't connect with it or keep up that pressure. They'll have to find themselves in their own end. A pinch going in favor of Snasky. Turbo Pulsa forced up to defense.
That was also a really good touch from Turbo Pulsa, the way he rotated his car to make sure it hit inside a little bit more. The angle of that corner just bouncing out a little bit further bought them time.
50-50s are called 50-50s, but it's every chance to turn that into your own favor. Make that outcome a little more likely for you to win those contests. In front of the net there, Sicky, once again, we've seen him guarding that net with his life. Fortunately, just hasn't been enough. Northern Gaming sitting up 2-0 in this series. First minute in, they've held off any kind of goals from Northern Gaming. We'll see if they can make one of their own. They've had a couple chances, but a lot of back and forth at midfield, and not even just ping pong. They're looking for each other, but both teams are so aware of what each other is doing and making sure they intercept every single one of those plays.
Well, as the ball settles down, you see Farrah push chat and get actually
Ooh,
another
nice
touch as it goes over, but it doesn't matter as Remco is going to pass that to Devo. Sicky reads it perfectly, positioning on point still as he pushes this down back into the middle. A chance from Snasky, but saved by Remco. His defense phenomenal.
Snasky couldn't get the read there. Sicky just trying to keep it out. He knew he had Devo and Turbo on him. A miss from Remco, though, could be a chance. No, Sicky and Snasky were neither ready to be able to clear that one out. Farrah just pushing on offense. He's trying to be the Devo that Devo is being for Northern Gaming, but for his own team here. Showing up everywhere on the field. He's just lagging a little bit too behind all the touches from Northern Gaming. This could be their chance as they move up. They got to realize it's give everything, do or die at this point. There is nothing to lose. They may as well give it their all.
You know, for me, it was like Northern Gaming coming in for me was originally the #1 seed. Like, they were so dominant in league play with Maestro, and I was actually a little bit timid with Turbo Pulsa. It's just not the same. But the way that these guys are playing, it is unbelievable.
Oh my goodness!
What a shot from Snasky!
Sicky to Snasky, and he just tucks her away right in the top corner. An incredible play from the leftovers to grab the first goal.
The awareness to recover, to play that down to a place where only your teammate can reach it, and then to doink that back in. Shogun has got to be so happy with the rest of the Team Rocket boys.
Oh my goodness, 2.5 minutes approaching now in game number 3. The leftovers barely keeping a shutout from Northern Gaming there. Snasky getting a save as they try to counterattack this one. 2 waiting Northern Gaming members though on the ground. Will flip this one right back down into the orange, and the leftovers hold the lead, but they have to make sure they do not give it up. Their key strategy here needs to make sure Northern Gaming do not get any attacks of their own and do not get any scoring chances. They're looking for another one of their own there, as Sicky was a little bit too far behind. He was waiting for the touch from Devo. It goes a little bit away from him, and now Remco has controlled the Turbo Pulsa, the pop off the backboard. Remco to keep that in play. Devo a little bit too far behind. We'll have to back off the defense. Now the leftovers looking for another attack. Off the ball, Snasky to come in, good communication. Sicky will back off, Snacky off the wall, put one towards the net. And we'll get stopped out by a defender of Northern Gaming. They're starting to feel the pressure. 2 minutes left now, and leftovers still holding on to this lead. We'll see if they can hold it off for the remainder of this game. Number 3, if they do not, they will be eliminated. They're looking for that reverse sweep that we all know they can do. Devo trying to get the dunk. Ends up getting a demo, freestyle demo. Haven't seen too many of those. But it doesn't matter, he didn't get a goal, and they're still behind by 1 goal. The deficit still will end up in a loss there. They're starting to get physical though. They know they have to start making some changes here because they're behind.
That's so scary about this team's offense is they recognize that the pass plays and the shots aren't working anymore. The only way to get someone out of that defense is if they force it, so a demo coming into play.
We'll see if they can make an attack now. 1:18 left.
Double commit.
Trying to go for the reads. That could be it. Snasky has an open net. A 2-goal lead, and the leftovers are starting to roll.
A double commit here right before Remco went up for that aerial, and because Remco did not get it wide open, as Snasky's able to take his time on that one, up by 2, spreading that lead, making it even more circumstantial for this Northern Gaming team.
Northern Gaming has to be like, okay, what happened? Because they were feeling confident. You pointed it up before. Turbo's like, we're just going to chill.
Farrah.
We're going to play this. Farrah trying to get one of those infamous plays. It doesn't work out, though. Devo's a 1 player, and he knows what he's doing on that field. Stops out that attack from Farrah.
It may not have worked out, but man, did it kill time, and that's all they're looking for right now in these last minute.
No, you're right. I mean, with a minute left, up by 2 goals, even if you get scored on once, you still, just as long as you run that clock down, you have more and more chance at success at winning this game and bringing this to a game number 4. And Leftovers is looking to do exactly that. 40 seconds left now. Farrah sends one towards the net. Snasky will miss that one. Good attempt, though. I like to see that they're still trying to create scoring opportunities. They're still looking to extend this lead and say to Northern Gaming, we can score a lot of goals too.
Well, it seems to be that Northern Gaming is trying to force it as well as they send everybody upfield. Last couple chances. They need a goal soon. Kasicki still being a nuisance on defense.
This is
Turtle
rough.
puts a shot in, saved again.
Siki is a beast in defense right now. Almost enough. Devo gets a touch to Turbo.
What?
On the goal line.
Put it in!
Finally finishes it off, but can we give credit to Devo? What a pass!
What a touch indeed.
What even is that?
Turbo not able to get it. I think he was surprised as well, but everybody rotating back in, sending the house. 9 seconds left. If they can tie it up, we go into overtime, and on match point, Leftovers trying to stay alive. The crowd behind them.
We'll see if they can do it with 4 seconds left.
No,
there's a shot! Devo with 2 seconds left ties it up. Leftovers did not want this to happen.
All it took was a kickoff and that crucial play from Remco. He was in the spot to make that save. It doesn't matter. Gets bumped out of the way. Frees it up for his team. We're all tied up 2-2 with 2 seconds left. That's too many twos.
That's my lucky
God.
number. But not Leftovers right now as we hit overtime. 1 goal will move Northern Gaming on. 1 goal will eliminate the Leftovers, or will it be Leftovers keeping themselves alive in this? They almost had game number 3. They're looking for a 4th one right now, and they are not ready to go out. They have to give everything. As we get into overtime, Farah has control and tries to take it past Remco. It's not going to work. Turbo off the wall, puts that almost the wrong way. Remco has to follow this up. There's Farah still on offense. Siki a little bit late to that contest. It will go back into the corner. Remco to Turbo as they move up the field, off the backboard. Not enough boost. He tried to finish it off. There's Devo expecting the touch from that spider touch. Snaski off the wall. Nice clear. Gets that down into the corner of Northern Gaming. No play to come out of that one. Siki trying to keep up the pressure at the midfield there. Devo can't get a touch to send that down into the Leftovers end. Remco. Farah steals that away. A little bit too far of a pass. He won't have a teammate there to connect with it. A missed shot there from Snaski. Siki will try to follow it. He'll back off for boost. Remco Devo trying to figure out what to do with it. They give away possession instead. There's Farah and Siki to create a play. Down on the ground, Devo will catch us off the backboard. Will he put it in a good spot though? You see Snaski trying to contest that one. Turbo doesn't move it down. Over a minute into overtime now. 1 goal will knock out Leftovers. Dangerous spot there. Siki playing it patiently. Remco almost had a chance. Off the corner, Devo takes it to himself. No touch there. It throws Snaski out of the play. Turbo with Devo. He's boosted up. He has a chance to give that to Remco.
It's shot sneaking on Snaski.
Snaski keeps it away. Farah with Siki have to be careful with this one. You watch them playing so patiently. They have to make sure every touch is absolutely critical and absolutely in their favor, or Northern Gaming will be able to punish this. Turbo trying for those individual plays. Devo will move up. 2 minutes now into overtime. Leftovers trying to stay alive. Northern Gaming starting to mount some pressure here. That's a chance for Siki. Snaski, sorry. He puts it down into the other end. He'll get the touch in front of the net, but he has no teammate there to help him out. He'll try to do it himself. Devo takes it away. Farah in front of the net. Remco to take that off the backboard. Turbo and his teammates from Northern Gaming trying to get this one out, but now we see an attack from Leftovers.
Turbo is starting to play a little bit more timid. His touch is not as strong, but luckily for him, these 2 other players are doing a fantastic job. As the ball in front of the net, Remco does it! Oh my goodness, I cannot believe they were to pull this out.
And Northern Gaming gonna knock out the Leftovers in spectacular fashion. The Leftovers so close to bringing back this sweep, at least getting that game, but it wasn't to be. And Northern Gaming, once again, find themselves in a top 3 spot in the RLCS World Championship.
They sweep their first game of the day. They sweep their second game of the day in that crucial play. I can't believe that brought them into overtime. Siki was on the backboard ready to make a save. Remco had other ideas. He goes up, bumps him out. It plays off the backboard, opens up a shot. We go into overtime, and then they clutch that as well. This Northern Gaming team is ready to play.
They're scary, but right now, I mean, I gotta say it to the Leftovers, man. These guys came together out of nowhere. I think it was 6 hours before the registration ended for the RLCS Season 3. They got together to form the roster, and they made it to this spot in the World Championships. No one would have expected that. Huge credit to these guys. And man, that was such an incredible match. You see they're happy. You see that they know they did their best, and they're happy with these results.
I mean, it's fantastic, and we've mentioned it so many times. Siki is an incredible story. For him to come back to back to back, 3-time land boy with 2 different teammates every single time, and for him to take them this far, he gets talked about not being the most known because he's kind of always in that backfield, but his play is unmatched. Like, his positioning is unbelievable. Like, how do you replace a player like that? Like, Siki is
He's incredible on the team, but again, we got to give credit to all those guys. I mean, so one more for those guys, but we do have our winners on stage. It's going to be Remco from Northern Gaming to see what they thought about that match.
All right, guys, chilling with Remco here, who had a stellar performance, I'd say. Now, you guys had to sit there and watch Leftovers just play in their last series. You guys saw how they cranked it up, just put up an onslaught of offense. Crazy opportunities that they capitalized on. Now, coming into this game, did that change your mindset at all, seeing how well they just got on playing?
Yeah, I mean, they played really good against Flipside. I was never expecting them to actually beat Flipside, but I also think Flipside themselves were kind of had an off day. A couple own goals here and there was kind of tilting for them, I guess. So yeah, we thought Leftovers was going to be a very tough match, and it was, but we pulled out a 3-0, and I'm glad.
Very nice. Yeah, I assume, knowing how the Leftovers like to play when they're down, going into that third game, it had to be a little bit nerve-wracking thinking, are they going to do this again?
When they were up 2-0 in that third game, I was like, this is going to be a classic Leftovers reverse sweep, but no, it didn't happen. We brought it back 2-2 really fast in a couple, or like half a minute maybe, and ended up winning overtime, so that was really good.
Great thing. So anything else you'd like to say before moving on?
Thank you guys so much, and I hope we get at least some support if we're playing an American team again, aka NRG, but we'll see about that.
All right, thank you, Remco. We're going to send it back over to Axel Toss and the guys now.
Thank you, Joey, and huge congratulations to Northern Gaming. Every victory at this point is so important as we get further and further into this tournament. We're now down to 3 teams. In Northern Gaming today, 2 matches, 6 wins. They have yet to lose.
Yep.
They're looking really good, guys.
And they're guaranteed a 3rd place once again. Plus, they were the 4 seed coming in, now surprising everyone with Turbo Pulsa as the sub. And they take out the team of Destiny, it seemed like, the Leftovers. So hats off to them, a 6-0 start today.
Yeah, and the Leftovers, though, they'll be happy going home. 4th place, that's still incredible for them. So congratulations to the Leftovers, but Northern Gaming, they're on a hot streak. Undefeated today, 6-0.
I mean, there's no better way to do it, especially in the lower bracket. They have yet to feel any sweat today. They're never under pressure of loss. They might be only 1 series away from defeat, but they haven't even come close to that. Again, 6-0, that's quite a feet when you know you're already down.
Yeah, the Leftovers are true fighters. We heard Remco say it himself. He's like, uh-oh, is this going to be another one of those reverse sweeps? But Northern Gaming able to close it down. Let's take a look at the highlights of that one in the form of your Mobile One high-performance replay. Northern Gaming with the sweep.
And Northern Gaming, games 1 and 2, just putting on a clinic once again. Extremely clean from all 3 of those players, controlling the pace of the entire game.
Yeah, we saw the same thing against Rogue, where they just kept Rogue on their back foot, struggling for boost, struggling to keep things out of their own net, and that was much similar to what they had in game 1.
I had a feeling that even if both teams were to bring out their best, I think just the congruency and them being able to work together, Northern Gaming's been together so much longer. Even if both teams were at their prime, I think Northern Gaming already had an advantage.
And then Remco thought it was in the final half minute. No, Remco, you guys scored with 9 seconds left on the clock, still down by 1, and then a kickoff goal. Turbo picks up this boost, and then you see Remco on the wall, gets rid of Siki, and that opened the door for Devo to come in and tie it up. Less than 10 seconds left to go, they managed to tie it up, scoring 2 goals, and then that overtime goal, that was just too much Northern Gaming pressure for Leftovers to handle.
Too much Devo.
Too much Devo.
Yeah,
way too much Devo.
It happens. It happens. Northern Gaming in a great position right now going into the next round. I also love what Remco had to say regarding who he expects to face, calling for some support from the crowd here if they happen to go up against NRG. But those matches still to come. I do want to give a ton of credit to the Leftovers. We said it time and time again. They barely came together before the qualifiers for this season, and then they make it all the way to 4th here at the championships. Just phenomenal. Guys, can we just give it up one more time for the Leftovers? Great run throughout the entire season, and great run through this tournament, but they are now out, and we are down to 3 teams, 2 from Europe, 1 from North America, and coming up next, it's your upper finals. It's going to be NRG versus Market Aces, a match everyone's been looking out for. And we're moving on to a best of 7 for the rest of the day as we get closer and closer to crowning our world champion here at the RLCS World Championships. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, more Rocket League.
It's like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade out here, Jimmy J. You hired me from a want ad. Think that comes with a superpower? Grimlock, drop the cruisers right now. That is an alien dinosaur.
Hey, where are the keys? I'm just gonna hotwire this bitch.
You are needed, sir. Urgently.
You want to know, don't you, why they keep coming here?
So is this a kidnapping or her first Transformer experience?
It's both, really. 1,000 years, we've kept it hidden. The secret history of Transformers. Here, on Earth. Now, to save our future, we must unlock the past.
You better have some skills today, buddy.
I love you, man.
What are you doing?
I'm dying.
It was a beanbag.
It was a beanbag. I felt it go through me.
Two worlds colliding, only one survives.
I want to stay, and I want to fight them.
What was that? That was a mistake.
Filmed with IMAX 3D cameras.
Thanks to Old Spice Hydro Wash, my quest for hydration was finally over. Was it a mistake to use my only water to take a shower in a place devoid of all water? Only the sense of time can be the judge of that.
Hey, Gibbs.
What's up, man?
Getting some games in after all that casting?
Yeah, in close overtime, trying to hit that grand champ. Can you do me a favor, though?
Yeah, what's up?
This personal space issue, can you please move over there?
Okay.
Just trying to win a game here. 2, can you actually grab me some more Brisk of watermelon lemonade? They're only at 7-Eleven, very limited, and I'm almost out.
Yeah, I was gonna go there anyway.
Thanks, dude. Can you actually grab all of them for me? James! Grab all of them! James, I'm serious!
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
It's a London dialect. It should sound like this. Death before dishonor.
Death before dishonor.
No, like a king.
Death before dishonor.
Oh, no.
What?
Death before dishonor.
This lesson could be your very last.
If you threaten my life one more time today, I'm in my car and I'm off home.
Then go home.
Hey, Gibbs, what's up?
What's going on, James?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I have a dilemma. I think I'm going to switch off the hard hat.
Well, what are you gonna pick?
Well, the pros don't really use toppers. Then you have to go with certifications. Maybe go with certified turtle, possibly. And then, of course, got to stay with the candy corn boost because that's the most important.
Well, that's cool, but I'm gonna pop out to 7-Eleven, so I'll see you later.
And rock the Dominus? Seriously, James!
Brisk Watermelon Lemonade is available only at 7-Eleven for a limited time this summer, so get yours now.
So what's the plan? War.
Times they are changing.
We need you to fight them, to show them who we are.
Oh Lord, my Lord and Savior, please deliver me.
So tell me, is it wrong?
Brought to you by the hardest working collection from Old Spice. Don't smell yourself short.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise here in the World Turn. I know you guys are excited for this one. We are getting closer and closer to crowning our world champion. We start with 10 of the top Rocket League teams in the world, and we are down to 3. The next matchup coming, a best of 7 between NRG and Mocket Esports from the upper finals. 3 teams left, guys. I'm Axel Toss, Gibbs, James Bott, Shogun. What a weekend. We're getting closer and closer to the end here, guys. Championship Sunday, down to our top 3. And we got a pretty spicy matchup coming here.
And we got 3 best of 7s, possibly 4 best of 7s left. 1 North America team left for this crowd to cheer for.
Yep, they still have a shot. They're in the upper bracket, so they still have an extra life. And this series, we're going to see 2 regional champions going head-to-head.
Yeah, it really is the battle of the Titans here. We are going to have NRG and Mocket Esports, a team that has been performing so well throughout the entire season, versus Mocket, who have been just emerging at the right time.
Every match is so important from here on out. Let's take a look at the updated bracket to keep everyone up to date here. We have yet to even look at this upper bracket too much today, as this is the only match we have, but let's talk about these runs, guys. Mocket going through Alpha Sydney and Rogue to get to this point. NRG going through Northern Gaming and Flipside Tactics to make it to the upper finals.
And plus, both these teams didn't even play on day one while their opponents had a victory, so that was a lot of pressure coming in for both of them. They both played 2 series, and they both won both. And here we are, the #1 seeds from the 2 best regions, everyone would say, North America plus Europe. You can't get better than this.
Looking again at the lower bracket, these are the matches we just saw. Northern Gaming sweeping through the day so far, taking out Rogue and the Leftovers. And again, Flipside Tactics, your defending world champions, are out.
Yeah, Northern Gaming, after getting knocked into that lower bracket, after getting dominated by NRG, have been on an absolute tear. They only lost 1 game to Denial, and then swept Rogue, and then proceeded to sweep the Leftovers right after the Leftovers took out Flipside.
Of course, Northern Gaming advancing on to the lower finals. They're going to await the results of this best of 7. They will play the loser between Mocket Esports and NRG. That wraps up your bracket. And these are your top 3 teams: Mocket Esports, NRG, Northern Gaming. Coming into this tournament, some people might have been able to predict this. Mocket and NRG, again, as we've said, regional champions for their respective regions, and Northern Gaming, the dynasty that we all know. So this is setting the stage here for some just incredible Rocket League play. I couldn't be any more excited, but let's focus in on this next match we have upcoming. Again, Mocket Esports versus NRG. This will be a best of 7. And let's start with Mocket Esports. We actually had a chance to sit down with Mystic to see what he had to say. Let's check it out.
What drew me to Rocket League was just watching streams. Obviously, Summit 1G streamed it at the start, and I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of people got into it. I didn't decide to buy the game at the start. I was just like chilling, watching the streams, enjoying the gameplay. And eventually I was like, you know what, I should probably give this game a try. And I played it casually, and within no time I was playing much better, quicker than a lot of pros. I was playing at the highest level from about 300 hours. That's probably what kept me going in the game, playing at such a high level so early on. I stream on Twitch quite a bit, and I score some crazy goals, and recently I started doing some crazy ceiling shots for some apparent reason, and I'm getting a lot of love on Twitter or Reddit or all of that stuff just for scoring crazy goals like that. So more people are starting to realize like, oh, this guy's actually pretty good. People are starting to notice it a bit more now on Mocket than before when I was on Northern Gaming. I think as a team we have a solid connection. Every session of Rocket League with K-Dub is just hilarious. Everything that he does is just a little bit broken, and it's great. You'll see some teams in Europe or even NA do like kickoff strats now, like they'll put it back left or right for their teammate. K-Dub has never done it before. He tried to say like back left to like pass the ball from kickoff to his teammate, and he said backboard by accident. You know, like where is he going to put the ball on the backboard from a kickoff? And everyone just burst out laughing, and that's just K-Dub in a nutshell for you. Gibbs motivates me to make it to the finals. He's backed us the whole way, and I can't let him down now. I'm too far along. We've won everything in Europe so far, so our main advantage is just being that #1 seed. We have probably by far the easiest bracket out of everyone. I think that we're playing really well overall, and I think we'll do well. Winning the LAN as a team would be just the best achievement for a really good season that we've had. Obviously, we've had ups and downs, but it would really be nice to finish it on and up and prove to everyone that we actually did, in the end, have a really good season instead of just being lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, your European regional champions, give it up for Mocket Esports!
And these guys have had a long wait for this match. There's been 3 series, a lot of one-sided series, but now we get to see the 2 teams that still have 2 lives in this tournament. Mocket, they knew they would be here. It didn't matter about scrims. They hate scrimming.
Well, actually, when you talk about scrims, they've been backstage for the entirety of this tournament so far. They've all been waiting. Only 2 teams are back there for them to scrim, as well as their opponents. So they've just been switching who they can scrim all the time, just trying to avoid Northern Gaming.
Yeah, Mocket with a great tournament so far, taking out Alpha City, taking out Rogue to get to this point. And, you know, a favorite for a lot of people. They're the best in Europe. They won the regional championships. Europe, a very strong reason. That's been the story of Rocket League so far. But let's go player by player here through the Mach Esports roster, starting with Fairy Peak.
Fairy Peak, he was part of that Fairy Peak KDOP duo in the regular season and online tournaments. Him and KDOP work so well together, and he'll need to perform well in this series.
And here you have the European regional MVP, KDOP himself. As you said, every single little thing he does is broken, but it all comes together to make one hell of a player.
And here's Mystic, so much confidence. He's nuts, he's saying it himself, and he loves this crowd being against them, and it seems to be working for him.
Yeah, and really today and this weekend, Mocket so clutch, especially when they're led by KDOP, the overtime goal scoring machine, helping them get 2 critical overtime goals against Rogue that put them through to this upper final.
I think KDOP's had a few hat tricks as well during this tournament, so Maka definitely a team where any player can rise up and just start making the fireworks happen. But moving over to a conversation about the team that they're facing off against. It's the North America Regional Champions, the last team remaining from the North America region. It is N NRG. I suppose perhaps a crowd favorite here, just a guess, but we were able to sit down with Garrett G from NRG. Let's see what he had to say.
I remember, you know, when I first got into computer gaming and stuff like that, watching all these events and just knowing that I was going to try my hardest to be one of those people. And now, you know, every time I get asked this question, it's kind of like weird because you don't feel different at all. You're just playing on a stage probably 10 days out of a year, so it's been great. I love it. You know, in the future of Rocket League as an esport, I would just love to travel more. It's not about the prize pools or anything like that. I just love to get out of the house and just play on a stage and meet people. It's the most amazing thing I've ever done. I actually ask this question all the time because Jacobs kind of acts like he's always funny and never takes it serious, but we're actually all really serious and communicative through every series. I never really like to rank myself as a player because what matters is if I win or lose. So, I mean, I think, you know, I obviously have to be a good player to be in the #1 team, but I don't try to think about it too much. I think my biggest weakness, and this is probably almost every North American player's weakness, is just rotating well. Whenever I play with EU people, it's a clear difference in how skilled their rotations are compared to mine. So that's the thing I try to focus the most on, is just improving my rotations. The energy's great. You know, they're not too invasive. They don't ask too much of us, but they're there whenever we need them. So they've been a great org throughout the season 3. Just sitting down and watching a game of Rocket League, you know what's going on instantly. And you know, in comparison to other esports, all the players are nice to each other, which, you know, I hear stories of people fighting and screaming at each other, but you can go up to anybody in the Rocket League scene and have a good conversation with them. That's what I really love about this community. I haven't had any like crazy interactions with fans, but just people coming up to me and wanting me to sign a piece of paper is probably like that's something that you never imagine happening, and someone wanting you to write down your name on something. I don't know, it's just crazy in itself to me. I think any supporters of NRG should expect a pretty good run. You know, we'll be really disappointed with anything outside of top 3, top 4. So that's probably our biggest goal right now, is just to make it farther in the tournament than we have before.
Ladies and gentlemen, they need your support. Give it up for the final hope for the North America region. It's NRG!
And this crowd is alive. We see Garrett G, #Superman, coming in. He's going to take those glasses off and get into the game, but he's been the difference maker for them all of day 2. I expect some of the same here on day 3.
Yeah, we've got the battle of the MVPs. Jacob from North America, K-Dop from Europe, and now they're going to settle who goes to the grand final.
And you brought up Garrett just a second ago. What he does better than anyone else is that defensive positioning. Does not let it go off the backboard. Does not hit the floor. Always put those hits down to the upper end of the field. Garrett is going to be key for this team.
Always a great attitude from this team as well. Jacob is always all smiles. He's got that ridiculous hat that he wears in game, and he loves those upside-down goals, so look out for that. But let's go player by player here through the roster from NRG.
And then you have Fireburner, the lead scorer, the golden striker representing NRG. He knows how to find the back of the net with precision.
And then we have Garrett G himself, the rock, the anchor of this team, does not make mistakes. He is going to be one of the best players in this series. Watch out for him.
And your North America MVP. The Cobb is on the job, and he rocks the biggest topper in the entire game. Somehow he can still see his car, but this team is crowd favorites, and they want to win this whole thing.
Yeah, they dominated Northern Gaming, a team that has been making a run in the lower bracket. They took out the world champs, and now they have a chance to take out the EU champions, and you know that they're not going to disappoint.
What a story we have here at the World Championships for RLCS Season 3. NRG against Mocket Esports to decide who's going to be the first team advancing to the grand final. We have a couple more stats to look at from both of these two teams, comparing K-Dop and Jacob.
The 2 MVPs of the 2 best regions. K-Dop was second in goals by 0.01 from Cooks, but doing everything with saves per game, being second in his entire region.
Yeah, there's not a busier player in the world than K-Dot, but maybe Jacob. Probably the best player in the world at carrying the ball from his end straight down to the other end of the field and setting something up for his team.
Yeah, K-Dot, he is a scorer. Jacob, he is just unpredictable. Players talk about how they never know what he's going to do. So this matchup, this is where we're going to find out who is the real MVP.
And what a time to be a Rocket League fan, because from here on out, it's best of 7. We're going to find out who the best team in the world is, and we are moments away from starting this match. But first, as is what we do here, we're going to do some predictions. Gibbs, we'll start with you.
Well, I said Mocket was going to win this entire World Championships, and I expect that to stay the same. This crowd might not like it. You know what? I do like this crowd, though. I think the crowd support might be the difference. I am actually going to go with NRG.
Oh!
We got family support from the Cobb. His parents gave me this shirt, and this shirt is beautiful. I'm going NRG in 6 games.
I like the fact that you brought merchandise to back up your pick. You know what? I'm going to do the same. I've got NRG taking it over Mocket.
Well, it's hard to me to disagree. The whole of NRG has had a great season, and whilst we're trying to sell out the entire merchandise stand of NRG, let's keep going on it. If you like Gibbs' black version, how about the white version as well? NRG are going to take it.
All right, I have a quick story for you guys. I was back there watching the teams train a little bit earlier, and NRG was there, you know, practicing, getting the scrims in. And Jacob didn't have a micro USB cable, or he was looking for it. And I see this, I'm like, what's going on? So I actually went, I had my controller in my bag, so I went and got my micro USB cable, 6 feet long. For those of you who don't know, that's what you use to plug into the PC to play Rocket League. And I gave it to Jacob. So Jacob right now is on the stage using my micro USB cable.
The hero.
I'm going NRG. I think they're going to take this. The last chance for North America. Can NRG make it happen? It's a best of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. This is a very important match as we find out who's going to be the first team advancing to the grand final. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and go over to the commentary desk with Waypunk and Final Carpet.
Mocket versus NRG, the North American champions versus the European champions, the North American MVP versus the European MVP. Could you ask for a better winner's finals carpet?
Not just that, but what is there to say? Number 1 against number 1. This is probably going to be the closest match that we've seen here so far. I don't even know if I can possibly say that because we've had so many close matches. I think both teams are very confident going in. I mean, at least they've gotten where they wanted. You heard it from Garrett himself. They wanted 3, 4. They just wanted to at least make it into the top 4. They've done that already. At this point, I think the stress is probably off of them. They've broken all those emotional barriers, all those mental barriers. They beat an EU team, and they knocked down Flipside, who is now out of the tournament. So one of their biggest threats is no longer there.
Now, I want to call out Gibbs here, because Mystic said that Gibbs' support was a big part of what has driven them, and he just turned his back on them and calling NRG. But I don't think it will matter in the end. I believe Mocket is here to play. NRG in the blue, or in the orange. Mocket in the blue. We'll get set to go here on DFH for our winners finals. It's a best of 7. We'll go. Kickoff 1 by Mocket. They'll have the ball in the orange. Jacob with the clear upfield. Be able to follow it up, getting bumped alongside the ball. And it'll be a fairy peek onto the backboard. Misses contact, fairy fireburner over to the side. Mystic with the follow-up shot towards the net, cleared by Jacob. Sent away. Now they'll move into the blue. Just let the ball roll across. K-Dop goes for a clear by fireburner with the read. Garrett up with the shot. He'll put it down, and NRG strikes first.
Early on, and you can see communication coming up. Jacob wanted to get a cheeky pass from the net of Mocket, but he decides to bail on it. He front flips, gets in the way of Fairy Peak, incidentally on his way to try something weird. He went to go bail, but Garrett, he'll never miss a shot like that.
The setup and then the shot. Also the zone there from Jacob. The 3-man play coming through for NRG. They strike first here in our winners finals. K-Dop will take another shot towards the net, cleared by Fireburner. Jacob with the transition to the midfield. Fireburner misses that one underneath Mystic. Fairy Peak will back pass. Passing plays from Mocket Esports. Trying to methodically move this ball slowly into the orange, but Fairy Peak missing that one there will open up an opportunity for NRG. They'll put it back out to midfield. Fireburner will bail on this one as he saw Mystic airborne. Mystic also will back off. Ball will move laterally across the field. We'll see NRG pushing into the blue.
A lot of unanswered balls in the middle from both teams. They're trying to respect and trust each other. No one wants to overcommit, but right now, NRG in the lead. They just need to play safe.
Garrett G off the side wall. Fairy Peak will pick it up after that bounce. Now Jacob into the blue. Fairy Peak in the back will move up first. The ball will fly all the way back to the goal. Garrett G over to the side. Fireburner rotating to try and pick it up. Oh, but Mystic right there in front of the net does not make contact. Garrett G will rotate and allow Jacob to move out. Cleared across the mid. Fireburner up with the follow-up. Jacob lurking in front of the net, into the corner, bouncing back to his teammate, but Mystic's there first. He takes a shot towards the net, cleared again by the defender.
Oh, placed well by Garrett. To the corner. Will he follow this up? Is that right?
Oh,
And it is!
It just dropped straight in, bar down, and we got a 2-goal game.
Perfectly into the corner. Garrett clears it himself, follows it up with one more touch, beating Fairy Peak, their last defender. A midfield shot, 2 goals up, 3 minutes left.
The player who became known as Oh My Garrett last season for his ridiculous offense has moved into being a defender, but yet still can transition out and score when needed. And you see it here now, NRG up by 2 in game number 1. Jacob over the side, Garrett hanging in the goal. Gets some support from his teammate Fireburner. Mystic down there will look to drop this one in, but a soft touch. Garrett G will be able to pinch it high. Fireburner with the follow-up over into the blue. Kadoff now airborne, just looking to pass to Fairy Peak. Will get it and transition straight back out. The 1-2 touch to put the ball straight back into the orange. Jacob off the wall. The side, Kadoff there first. Out to Fireburner, Jacob. On the side, Fireburner and Garrett a little bit of misdirection created, and Garrett G will be able to take a shot towards the backboard, cleared easily by Mystic, and it'll wrap back out to midfield. There's Fireburner. The midfield setup now coming through for NRG. Jacob will take a shot on the open, then finds a gap in the rotation. 3 goals now for the North Americans.
NRG playing safe pressure, but that first shot about probably 5 seconds before this, 2 defenders went up for it. They knew they just had to keep up the pressure. A hard clear to the backboard again, and it resulted, or at least a bad touch, resulted in that goal.
Jacob rocking the octane this game as well. Player who's been known to mix it up, but probably most well known for the breakout. What was this? Garrett G comes out with the hat trick.
I think this actually went off Fairy Peak for the final touch. Garrett tries to follow this through, gets one more front flip to push it. Fairy Peak tried to read the initial trajectory, but he will be the one to sink it in. 4 goals with about half the game left. NRG are on fire.
Now the one upside for this for Mockett is that there is half the game left. Plenty of time to come back into this, but 4 goals, it would be a monumental comeback. Only happened once before in RLCS. And you can hear the crowd. They don't realize we're in DFH, but hey, I'll take the Manfield cheers. Kadoff played over to the side. Fairy Peak now, shot downfield. Fireburner into the corner. Garrett G sets up in net. Fireburner does not make contact. It'll be Garrett G who has to make the block. Puts it out to his teammate. Jacob over the top of Mystic. Quick read. Avoiding the 50-50, just getting an outright touch. And Fireburner now into the middle. Did Jacob rotate? No, he's right there. Got the demo, puts it straight into the box. Fairy Peak has to make the save, and Kadoff will get the clear. Mockett avoiding the lead extending for now, but still trapped in front of their own box.
I was expecting physical play to come if NRG were facing a little more of a difficult situation, but even 4-0 up, Jacob is just trying. Can Fireburner beat both defenders? Can he push it through? Kadoff.
Kadoff, the closer support player of the 2 teams, will be able to get the clear. Garrett G now with another opportunity. Nobody in net. Can they finish it off? Fireburner goes far post. That's 5-0 for NRG.
Completely outpacing Mockett right now in every way. You heard Garrett saying they might have been a bit worried about their rotations, but so cleanly. And I love that Garrett knows not to just shoot for net. He had to beat out that defender, so he put it to the backboard as opposed to taking the shot, but it gave his teammate an even better opportunity.
Yeah, his shot, he had the opportunity there, but it was going to be a difficult shot to make, and to try and attempt the shot means you might get a post bounce or a corner bounce, and it would just go off in some random direction. This way, putting it on the backboard gives Fireburner an easy shot there to all but solidify a victory here in game number 1, up by 5. Mockett yet to score. The home field advantage coming in strong right now, and Fireburner is just going to continue to push this one. It's trapped in the blue again, Carpet.
4 shots to 6 right now. NRG, I cannot believe this. Actually, it's 8 shots, but still 5 of those going in. Their accuracy is on point, their pressure's on point. Mockett just cannot break through right now.
Well, so many of these goals have gone in on defensive lapses, just finding holes in the rotation, figuring out when they're going to be out of net and being able to send the ball back into the box. Right now, NRG full control of this game. The ball's in their corner, but it doesn't matter. It'll move back out. Garrett G takes a shot straight down midfield. Fireburner with the zone. Kadoff will be unperturbed, and he will be able to get that out of the corner. But with 15 seconds left, down by 5, that's a goal every 3 seconds. That is not happening here. NRG will take game number 1. They'll put in one more. There's 10 seconds left here. 2 goals away from a Brazil. How much of a statement would that be?
A little salt in the wound this goal is for Maka right now. But bear in mind, everyone, this is the first best of 7 of the day. This is a test of endurance.
Yes.
Can NRG keep this up? A lot of teams we see, they come out strong first or second game, and then it gives the other team enough time to try and read what they're doing, figure it out, and turn it around. But will NRG be able to keep this up?
That is the advantage of the best of 7. Mocket still has 3 games left to figure it out before they will drop down to the lower bracket to face Northern Gaming. But so much, we have seen so many series where one game goes so much in one direction and then game 2 is completely different. Mocket Esports, a team that can bounce back as much as anybody else, still very much in this. I am excited to see what they bring in game 2.
Bounce back or not, Wave, that was a 6-0 game.
That was ridiculous.
We're talking upper finals, and they were still able to put the #1 European seed into a 6-0 loss in the first game of their series.
And both of these teams have not played yet today. This is the first time we've seen both of these teams on the stage. They've been scrimming down below, but still, the stage is a different deal. The nerves can get there, the jitters can get there, and right now, NRG in top form. Hopefully, Maka can shake it off, give us a series here in game 2.
And Gibbs did bring up a good point. The audience is heavily in NRG's favor, and I know that's got to be enough to fuel anyone. Hearing them cheer, I mean, all I have to do is say their name, and the crowd starts to go insane.
Yeah.
Jacob, all he has to do is look the right direction, and everyone starts to scream his name.
I mean, think about the power he has right now. If he stands up and just lifts his hands, the crowd will respond.
I wish you could hear us.
Yeah,
He'd
right?
totally do it.
He totally would. But luckily, the players in a competitive environment, they're going to be trapped inside their little headphones and just be trying to compete for the best in the world here.
6-0, only 4 shots for Mocket. And the accuracy from NRG, all of their plays amounted in so much. Garrett starting out hot, and he's not the kind of player that tends to cool off. So he will stay this hot the rest of this series and potentially the rest of the day.
Can Mocket bounce back here in game 2? We'll move on to Manfield. We'll see how they respond after the dominant performance from NRG in game number 1. Garrett G and K-Dop set to go on kickoff. Garrett G solid touch into the air, and then the demo opens up a smoke screen for Jacob. He spots that one down, Fireburner shoots, puts it in. It's been 6 seconds, and they're right back where they left off.
So many good plays. The demolition on Garrett wasn't enough. Watch how Fireburner opts for the low shot, knowing that K-Dop wanted to try and predict it. He had no choice. K-Dop at that point was just a shot in the dark. Fireburner kept it down low, proving that he's one of the best strikers in the world.
The demo creating the smoke screen, the confusion just works out well for Jacob as he's able to send it straight into the box. And Fireburner finishes it off. Here they come again. Jacob airborne, Fairy Peak to clear it away, but Garrett G at the midfield to try and keep the pressure on. No presence in the mid will mean that Fireburner has to clear it off from the side, but Jacob will rotate in behind. He'll see if he can win these 50-50s out, get the ball back into the blue.
I think it's really easy to underestimate how strong NRG is on defense.
My
Fireburner,
goodness, what a play.
Trying to bait out Fairy Peak. He does get a 50-50.
I'm not sure Fireburner realized that Fairy Peak was the last player back and he was in the corner. But either way, the chance for the Fireboy. If only he could hear, the support would come through. But Fairy Peak in the midfield. He's got Garrett G. Oh, he passes to Fireburner. That wasn't the player he meant to connect with. Fireburner's going to take a shot. Mystic will get the save. First minute will now come and go. They do not score any more here, but the first goal could be enough to do it for NRG.
Only 2 shots for them, and Mocket has yet to put a single shot anywhere near the net. They're trying to surmount as much as they can, but NRG is just ruthless.
Fireburner trying to push out of his corner. Jacob lofts. Allows Fireburner to move in. They'll switch the rotation in the other direction. Jacob with the clear out to midfield. Garrett G already up there, cherry picking at midfield to move that one down farther. Consecutive touches here from Mocket, move it back into the orange. An opportunity lofted in the midfield if K-Dop can go, but he does not. He respects the presence of Fireburner and Garrett G. Position of NRG holding on right now, but the shot there as it comes from Mocket. Fairy Peak puts him on the board. We got